Welcome to the 66th Natus Chicago Midwest Emmy Award Backstage Show. Here's your host from WTTW Chicago Tonight, Amanda Vinicky, and from WNDU South Bend 16 News Now, Joshua Short.
Hi, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us for this Backstage
This
show.
is cool.
You were looking so spiffy.
You look beautiful as well. It's
Let
good
me
to
tell
be
you,
with you.
people bring it. And
I know.
We've got talent, we've got fashion,
Yeah.
we've got fun. We'll hopefully have a lot of facts, entertainment for you that are joining us for the Backstage show.
It is so good to be with you. You're a pro at this. You've done this several years before.
I've done this a couple times.
Yeah,
I'm
this is
comfy on the
good.
couch.
This is a comfortable couch. I was hoping
is.
I didn't fall asleep. We just ate, so hopefully I don't fall asleep during this. But it's an exciting night. I'm really excited about this.
It's very awesome. 66 years of award-winning, documentaries, news programs, comedy. There's all of it here tonight.
We have so many volunteers, so many talented people here working with us, which we're so appreciative of. We're not too far from where all the action is, too. So right after those folks get their awards, they come right out here and they talk to us. This is pretty cool.
They talk to us, they get a fancy statue. And by the way, you also get it personally engraved. I'm not sure if folks at home are aware there's an engraving station.
Like right, just feet away from us, which
yes,
is cool.
maybe we can take a field trip. I
think
don't
so.
know.
I think
Are we allowed off the couch?
Are we allowed, crew? Can we
Are
take
we
a
allowed?
field
Are
trip
we cool?
eventually? We should. We should. They're like, no,
We'll
please.
see. After the folks, I think we get them before the engraving.
Yes, that's true.
So
Yeah,
we'll see how that goes. But I know that everybody wants to show off their skills, their talent, the hard work that they put into their award-winning pieces that are going to be honored here tonight.
Yeah, we've already started to see some winners come out of that door. You have a card right here, which is big time.
I do.
You've already got some winners. This is major.
I'm not going to flip it yet until we have our guest.
Yes, exactly.
Until we're ready. I'm not sure. Are we? Do we have? Yes. Hello. All right.
Familiar face.
Come on
in.
over.
Come on
Take
in.
a seat.
Thank you.
Hello.
It's good to see. Congratulations.
Thank you
Yes,
very much.
very proud.
Thank you.
So, of course, I'm particularly proud because this is a documentary that aired on WTTW, my station. So I'm, a little partial
Bragging, right?
here.
Just a
And
little bit.
journalists try to be objective, but in this case, it's out the window.
Not tonight.
So congratulations.
Thank
But this is actually a very somber piece of work that you're being honored for. This is for Angels Too Soon. Peter Marks, the long form content writer award.
Right. So the program is about a fire that took place in 1958. It ravaged a Catholic parish and a school, and 92 children, 3 nuns perished in the fire. But the documentary is about more than that. It's about community. It's about the resilience of the human spirit. We interviewed people who haven't felt comfortable talking in 65 years since the fire occurred. We also tracked down a canister of film that people had been trying to find for a long time, and it is the day of the fire. And we had the canister of film restored, and so that is the spine of the film that we put on WTTW's Chicago Stories.
We have some of that video too, I believe, if we want to play that. That's remarkable. Talk about the process when you guys found that video. Talk about the process from there and the storytelling process that took place.
Well, so I went over to the Fire Museum, Chicago Fire Department Museum, and there are a couple of these guys up on the second floor. They're volunteers, they're retired firefighters. And I mentioned this canister of film that I knew someone had documented the fire that day, but nobody could find it. And these guys, I was there for about an hour, one of them suddenly came out, and he's holding this canister, and it says, Holy Family. And he thought, I don't know, could it be mislabeled? So we are looking at it, we're looking at the film, and what could this be? We took it back to WTTW. Someone hand cranked it, and there were 2 of us looking, and then there were 5 of us looking, and then there were 15 of us crowded around looking at this film. We couldn't believe what we were seeing.
That's pretty remarkable, and it came together just in time, part of the perseverance and hard work. You, of course, are honored for the writing component of this. It's such a tragedy. What do you do to pair that story, but also let the film, particularly newly uncovered, speak for itself?
Well, I think we divided the show into 3 acts. We didn't want it to be just this tragedy the whole way through. It was important for us to give people a sense of Catholic parish life in Chicago, which used to be so strong and used to be so important. And so we spent the first 20 minutes of the film in the parish talking to people about what that parish meant to them. And it meant everything. Everything revolved around the church, the activities, the baseball after school. Then the second act is, of course, the fire and the way it unfolds. And the third act is recovery and how people have processed this fire, this tragedy. Some people questioned their self-worth afterwards. Other people were furious about what had happened and how could it have been prevented, who did it. And we end with people talking about how their lives have, what they've done with their lives. A lot of people went into service. A lot of people became firefighters, became policemen, became nurses. So it unfolded over that hour. And again, we didn't want it to be solely on that tragedy because it was about something so much more than that.
Yeah, and you and your team should be proud as well. Obviously, your team member right next to you.
Team member, very proud, all of WTTW, and you can still check that out. A little promo here. You can, of course, watch the documentary, and there's a whole website that is dedicated with additional information, content. And you can learn more about the now award-winning documentary about this really tragic part of Chicago history. Congratulations once again to Peter Marks for, I want to get the Angels Too Soon documentary. Congrats.
Thank you. All right, we'll be right back with more winners coming up. Stay there. We love this, right? They just come out, it's just cranking them out.
And everybody's in a great mood.
This is great. This is awesome. We've got William Blake Duffner. You prefer Blake, right?
Yes, I do.
That's perfect. Blake, first off, talk about this award. You got Outstanding Crafts Achievement for Photography, Short and Long Form Content. What's part of this composite?
I had a lot of stories that I worked on as a producer and with other producers in our department. But I would say that our Black History Month special was one of the stronger parts. I worked with Taylor Musgrove, Thomas Whitfield, TJ. They had a lot of great projects in that, and it was a lot of fun. We got to kind of develop a look early on, and Jordan Arsenault, our other photographer, he was able to also shoot within that same guideline, and I thought it created a pretty singular piece.
Can you share a little bit? Of course, Chicago is beautiful, but what do you do to try to capture the essence?
Oh yeah, I think a lot of it is just like trying to capture the vibes, the fun times. It's, anytime you can get the CTA in a shot, you're super excited about it. But, this holy piece up over at Navy Pier, that was a day I spent with Thomas Whitfield, TJ, and we were able to try to just capture just the energy, like the uniqueness of the city. Anytime I can get the skyline in, I shoehorn it in. I mean,
there you have it. Look at that energy on the screen right now. The color, the depth of field.
Yeah, no. So it's always a blast shooting anything in the city, and I will say that holidays, special occasions, Chicago always turns out for it all. So it's a
There
great
may
time.
be some people right now who are like, "What's Localish?" Can you talk about that a little
So
bit?
yeah, Localish. It's it's a initiative through the ABC stations. We produce usually happy, lighthearted pieces, things of like community involvement, restaurants, what have you, and it's
That are Localish.
that are localish. So like you'll have this place does the largest pizza in Chicago type of thing.
Ooh,
but
do you remember where that is? 'Cause I'm interested already.
I just made
Dinner's
that
just
one up,
over,
but
but
I thought it would work. But I've done stories of like the casket races in Forest Park.
Wow.
We've done all of these different things that are special occasions. I was just at Hexa Coffee in Lakeview. They have a biker meetup / goth coffee shop thing going. It's it's a lot of just the interesting things that you might not know just on the surface level, and it kind of gets you a way to find what's out there.
why you get into journalism in part, right? It's
Yeah.
the videography, the photography, but also the experience.
Yes. I think a big part of this career, it takes a lot from you, but you're also going to experience a lot. So I think there's a lot of joy to be found through a lot of these, the sacrifice, but also just by being out there on the ground, seeing what's out there.
Being in front of the story. It's a lesson. It's a lesson a lot of people can learn. Look, William, we appreciate this. Blake, we appreciate Dufner. Which one do you go by again?
Actually, in high school, I went by my last name almost exclusively.
So pick a name.
Yeah,
right?
Hey, that's my parents' fault.
What are you going to get engraved on the statue?
It's going to be William Blake Dufner, the full name. It stops a lot of confusion.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations and display it proudly.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Go over there, get it
All the
engraved.
best to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more winners after this.
Our latest Emmy winner has joined us here on the Velvet Couch. Congratulations to Sharon Zurek. This is for editor of long-form content, which means something more than 15 minutes, and this is certainly a subject that is well worthy of that. This is the outrage of Danny Sotomayor, who was an AIDS activist in the 80s. Tell us more about Sotomayor's story.
Well, Danny was an activist for 4 years, for 2 years of the 4 years that he was around once he was diagnosed with AIDS. So he didn't waste any time. And he helped create Chicago ACT UP, which was a pretty powerful group. And I just have to say I'm really thrilled that Dan Andres was producer and director of the piece, and he wanted to do this movie for 20 years. So Danny was a student at Columbia College. He was a political illustrator, so he did a lot of political cartoons in the Windy City Times and Free Press, and he is pretty known for his work. And a Columbia College student shot a lot of 3/4-inch footage following Danny and his activists around, and that's what I had the pleasure of editing. Is like, I don't know, it was kind of spooky. I felt like Danny was in the room with me, so I hung pictures of him, and then there was so much footage to look at, I would be zipping through it, and then I'd just land on some things, and I kind of feel like he was helping me a little bit. So anyway, I'm very thrilled to be a part of it and to be a part of the team at Chicago Stories.
You can see part of that video as it's playing right now. We'll talk about, I love the process behind this. You talked about it. It's a story that he wanted to tell for 20 years. It took a long time, but talk about how fulfilling it is to finally get this to TV, get this there for people.
Well, it was Dan Andres. So he held the torch for 20 years, and I got to live with it for 10 weeks.
Wow.
So I got to be in the edit room for 10 weeks working on the footage, and I think that's one thing that people mention when they see the doc, which is on PBS Passport, is that they feel like, they're getting to know Danny because there's so much footage of him and not just a photograph zooming in and out type of thing.
It's a challenge, I feel, when you, of course, try to show a documentary, even a short news segment, when you don't have enough what we call in the biz B-roll, right? But it can also be a problem to have an excess of material. How did you deal with that?
Well, that's why I think Danny was in the room with me, Danny Sotomayor. I mean, I think, I don't know, I just tried to be open. I tried to keep my eyes out as I was zipping through footage, and I don't know. I just let it happen.
I mean, as an editor, talk about the lessons learned from this. I know you're in a bay, in essence, working on this, right, for 10 weeks, you said. But is it something that you got out of it that you didn't before, that you said, oh my goodness, it's an aha moment for me?
Well, I'm umpteen years old, and this was the first and only project I've cut as an editor in somebody else's facility. So I've always cut at my own place, and so that was different. That was a little nerve-wracking, I must say, that I'd never walked into somebody else's place. And the staff there is absolutely fantastic, and I had my own room, so I got used to it and could set it up the way, to be comfortable. And that was a little nerve-wracking when I first got the offer. But I couldn't say no. I'd known Dan for 20 years, and I never got to work with him. So
He is a true talent, as are you, clearly, as the Emmy judges have deemed. So congratulations once again to Sharon Zurek for the long-form editing award just received tonight. And again, you can find that on the PBS app and WTTW welcoming staff. And check out the website. Chicago Stories really does a lot of this long form that is so great for exploring Chicago's history and history makers, including Danny Sotomayor. Congratulations.
thank you so much.
So far, the WTTW show, no complaints here. This is awesome.
Hey, wrapping it up.
We've got more winners coming up. Stay there. Welcome back, friends. We've got more winners, and let me tell you something. We've got a lot of hardware around us, too.
Yes,
this
we
is
do.
Pretty cool. We've got to talk about it. Outstanding Crafts Achievement for Directing. On my left, we've got Monica Takushi Lee joining us. Talk about this project, Little Village, the neighborhood it was heavily involved.
Yes, so this was a series we did with Choose Chicago about different neighborhoods in Chicago. So I directed the Little Village episode. Jacob did was the DP and did all the lighting with Stacy for the whole series. So they won for the Bronzeville episode, and I won for directing for the Little Village episode.
And Choose Chicago is sort of the tourism arm for the city. So this is really an opportunity to show off Chicago. So once again, I want to make sure that I don't have a card with your first and last name. So I want you to each say it so that everybody who's viewing it knows who you are and what award you received.
I appreciate that. I'm Jacob Midkiff.
And I'm Anastasia.
All right, and this was for, your award is?
For lighting.
For lighting, congratulations.
How's the lighting look around here? Are we good?
So far, so good.
All right, perfect.
We got the apertures going.
All right,
Maybe not
sure.
Emmy nominated, but good enough.
I'll take it. Lighting makes a huge difference.
That's true.
That is a skill. How did it come into play in this series?
It kind of depended because each neighborhood we highlighted different restaurants and different historical places. So it kind of depended on the place. For Bronzeville, we went into a lot of very old historic buildings. So it was utilizing a lot of what was already available in there, but also highlighting so much of what makes Bronzeville beautiful. So it kind of varied, but we want to highlight the people in the city. So.
How do you work with folks who are looking at lighting and the other things, right? The other things, and then how do you make that work as a director?
Well, I was going to say what's so great about these two is when they're lighting, Stacy would always be like, give me 75 seconds to finish lighting something, and I'd be like, okay, it was like a good trick to get what she needed, and I'd be like, I'm not going to count to 75.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But yeah.
How were the restaurants lit? Some of the restaurants?
The restaurants were lit, and the restaurants were all so amazing. At Little Village, we had Osito's Tap, and we had La Catedral Cafe, and they've got 15 types of chili chiles there. So, and of course we're like, we have to shoot all of them, and then once we film all of them, we're like, we have to eat them now. So it's great, and all the people in these communities are just so amazing.
Yeah, you guys are impressive. You guys should be really, really happy, really proud.
Did you cover all 77, or is there going to be more of this series coming up, perhaps Emmy nominated in the future?
Well, hopefully everyone can go and watch the show. You can stream it on Choose Chicago, their website, and on YouTube. Hopefully other places soon, but hopefully with more people watching it, we can continue the series and highlight more neighborhoods.
Exactly. We're very much looking forward to it, for season 2.
Well, congratulations. Yeah. Thanks so much again for your awards, and check that out on Choose Chicago.
Get them engraved. You got to get them engraved. Yeah. You got to. That's a must. Thank you all.
Bye. So nice to meet you. Thank you. Bye, Jacob. Thanks.
Bye.
Congrats. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Congratulations. Congrats.
And we are back. We've got a bunch of winners, Joshua, and so it is pretty awesome. We're going to start with the latest winner, and this is Emily Reagan, who you have won for Outstanding Crafts Achievement for Editing in Sports with Fighting Irish Media. And so this is a composite. What did you want to share in your entry?
I think just showing different types of editing. There's some cool special effects. There's a lot of drama. And then just getting people excited for the season. I work for Fighting Irish Media, Notre Dame football, and so always a lot of hype around that. And so want to be able to get people excited and mix it up every week. You don't want to see the same thing, so trying different things.
How do you achieve that? Because I cover Notre Dame as part of my job at WNDU in South Bend, and so that's the one connection there down the street from Notre Dame. How are you able to say, you know what, let's put this together and let's make this different than the last 2 weeks or the last season? How do you do that? How do you achieve that?
I really get inspired by what the players do, like what I see on film. You can say, oh, well, they had a great drive, but if we didn't capture it that way, I can only use what we captured. So looking through all the clips, which can be tedious, but, it's kind of like writing a paper with pictures. So just kind of doing your research, looking through it, and then getting inspired by it, asking people around you, seeing stuff other people do, and then making it your own. One of the effects I did on one of the videos, I'm sure you've seen the effect where, the quarterback throws the ball, it splits into 3 balls and it comes back. Well, I wanted to show multiple throws, but the time that I wanted to do it in and the edit wasn't long enough, so I split it into 3 and then I had it keep going into 3 different plays on the screen.
She just nerded out something crazy. Did you?
Which
That's
I'm
awesome.
surprised I hadn't seen that before, but I was just trying to solve a problem in the edit, and it ended up working out. So
I bet we'll be seeing more of it. So all you football watchers, tis the season. Congratulations once again to you, Emily.
Congratulations. Fighting Irish. Go Irish. Look at that.
All right, and Emily's going to exit. We're going to have another winner.
Yeah, we
have a whole line of folks that are talented, that have these statues in hand. We're hoping for this next one to come on by. We can, in the meantime, watch more of Emily's award-winning footage. Come on over, share the chairs with us.
We've got this next award. This is really special. You guys come over here, have a seat. This is home for you guys. This is for Outstanding Crafts Achievement for Audio Live Post-Production. Who do we have here? I'll start with you.
I'm Andrew Twiss.
And then I'm Sophia Fishkin.
And I'm Sam Fishkin.
Related, huh?
Isn't that weird? Do I dare see another WTTW in this thing?
That you dare. Chicago Stories is really killer, let me tell you.
Right. This one, we were nominated for both Chicago Stories and Chicago Mysteries. The award went to Chicago Mysteries.
Oh,
and
I'm sorry, I didn't
that's
say
okay.
But hey, great.
But this is the same team on both, and WTTW has been amazing in giving us the time and resource to work on these shows, to share, to entrust us with those stories, to do what we do, what sound we bring to the table. So it's really been fun.
A series where sort of the city's unofficial historian, WTTW's Jeffrey Bear, take folks around the spooky, the mysterious, the strange, and shares that lore. So this is for audio and live post-production. What do you do to add that sort of spook factor? We're coming right out of Halloween, so it seems very fitting.
And it played during Halloween, right?
Yeah, well, we add all the sound effects, the ambience of the backgrounds, and we add the sounds. There's a ghost story, so we added some of the ghost sound effects. Some were actually in the shot, which is interesting. We got some live ghosts for us, and then we make all this dialogue and all the people sound the way they should, even everything out, and kind of present what you're going to hear on the TV.
When it comes to ghost sounds, how much is too much? How much is ooh, and how much is too
I
much?
mean,
We're all going to
I think it all depends on whether you're alone or not, right?
That's a good point. That's a solid point. You guys should be proud of that, though. Live post-production for audio, that's not easy to attain that. This is, a huge deal for you guys.
Well, we have, between us now, 10 Emmys, years and years of experience, and some new experience with Sophia here.
This is my first Emmy. I'm really excited. Thank you so much.
We gotta have a bell or something.
Well, and I'm so excited to say that my first Emmy, I get to share it with my dad. So I'm really lucky.
It really is so special.
That's amazing. It's all in the family.
And you have to
around
be
here.
so proud.
I am proud.
He better be.
There you go.
I promise.
You can tell I'm not the writer in this group.
Yeah.
I am a storyteller, but
Yeah. We just got to chill in here. Maybe there's a ghost behind us or something. I don't know. There's a mystery to figure out. We're looking at some
There
of
it
the
is.
video there.
Thanks so much. Congratulations to the whole team. We really appreciate it, and feel free to enjoy the rest of the show.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll see you back on the couch. I know there's a lot of Chicago stories that is up. We'll see more of the team. All right, fingers crossed.
Okay.
Congratulations
Yeah,
again
thank you,
to
guys.
each of you.
And look, it's a long night too,
Come
so we
on
could be
over.
seeing WTTW.
That is certainly possible. It most certainly is. Hi, who have we got here? A one-man band, which is tough.
That's
Let me tell
huge.
you.
Yeah.
Have you one-man
I've
banded
done
in
it
your
for 4
career?
years, and let me tell you, if I had to do it for 4 more, I wouldn't be in this business anymore.
It's literally backbreaking work sometimes. And who do we have here? We have Jordan. I don't want to mispronounce your name. Oh, you know what? Wait. Jordan Arsenault.
Arsenault, yeah. Not Arsa, yes, Arsenault.
Arsenault.
Yeah.
Arsa,
Yeah.
yes. Well,
Yeah, right.
This is for outstanding crafts achievement for a multimedia journalist.
Right.
And so tell us about what you did. This is for WLS's Localish.
For Localish, yeah. So Localish is a digital first brand through ABC, and ABC owns 8 stations across the country. And Chicago, we produce around 75 Localish stories every year, and I try to do about 30 of them myself. And so I'm shooting, I'm editing, I'm enterprising the stories, and I'm writing them, putting them together, writing the article for the website, and so
it's your
just
baby.
do it all, yeah, yeah.
Is this your first Emmy?
This will be my 4th craft Emmy. And 13th,
awesome. See that?
13th Emmy.
Oh,
so,
13th.
Yeah,
Oh,
all
my
together, yeah.
goodness.
So.
How's Localish different? How's this one different?
I mean, this is different because I'm being, you know, I love my job because I'm paid good to do it.
John Idler, I hope you hear this.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy it. I get a lot of satisfaction out of it.
Yeah.
And people think I'm good at it. So that's like the Venn diagram. You can't get anything better than that, and it means a lot because I do everything myself. So.
Which is of course difficult, but also empowering to be able to take control, tell the story in every way.
It is, yeah, and it's great to have that intimate relationship with a subject and to go in and it's just me and a camera, and we're just gonna do it. And so yeah, I'm really grateful and thankful. And this is special to me. My daughter beat leukemia last year, and so while I was producing all of these stories, she was like in the hospital fighting, and so yeah.
What's her name?
Her name is Joy, and I should have dedicated the award to her on stage. I didn't think I was going to win. So Joy, I dedicate this award to you. You are a fighter. So proud of you, and man, you're way better than a statue. Yeah, it's great having you.
The real thing, Joy, I'm so proud of you. I'm sure she is proud of her dad. She knows how much heart you put into your work, but even more the heart that you put into her and raising your family. Congratulations to you, and all of our love to Joy once again. That is Jordan Arsenault, and yes to Joy and to this award.
That's amazing.
Thanks so much.
You take that, get it engraved, okay? You take that. We're going to have some more winners. We got a line. We really quickly had a line piled up out here.
Heck yes. It's pretty, it's awesome.
This is awesome.
All right, come on down to the couch. Why
Let's
don't you
do it.
sit next to Josh?
Let's do it here.
We got all right, great.
Graphic arts, motion graphics, art direction, and set design. That's this one here. And then we've got another one as well. We've got editor for short form content up to 15 minutes.
So this is both for 25 million stitches, one stitch, one refugee. Tell us about that. First of all, actually, I'm sorry. You are.
My name is Kevin Pettijohn. I worked on the motion graphics, and this is Jose Castillo, and he's a producer and director of the film.
Well, congratulations to both of you. Tell us a little bit about One Stitch, One Refugee.
Well, it's an amazing piece that is in collaboration with Plum Media and the Wisconsin Fiber Arts Quilting Museum, and working to just really document one stitch per 25 million refugees, and a lot of these artists came together to document and to produce all this fiber arts work, and Jose could probably kick it off a little bit better than I can.
So just want to give a shout out. So Jennifer Kim Sohn is the founder of the 25 Million Stitches art activism piece, and each stitch, as Kevin alluded to, it represents one refugee, and that statistic dates back actually to around 2015. So that number has since doubled.
Wow.
And you know, the refugee crisis obviously is a global crisis, and it's an honor to be amongst all these amazing filmmakers here, but this is really to raise awareness for the larger crisis that exists today in the world.
Talk about people who may not know about this crisis. So what are you hoping to get out of this?
Compassion. So one thing that we were really cautious of when producing this piece was how do we navigate the piece and not make it overly political? I mean, when you talk about refugees and then you talk about immigration and immigrants, that inherently sounds political, but we really tried to present this piece to grasp at people's hearts and to really emphasize and hope that people have, humanity and compassion towards these refugees. I mean, they're human beings. I mean, we have, climate change and things like that are actually driving a lot of people out of their countries, out of their homes.
Wow.
And, this piece, although 15 minutes in length, it just barely scratches the surface on this topic.
Even watching a few glimpses here, you can tell that it is certainly powerful and a reality that refugees, of course, are experiencing, and then so many of us increasingly, just if you walk down a Chicago street, that's something that will really hit home. Congratulations to you, Jose, and Kevin as well.
Thank you both.
Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your night, and hope you're able to celebrate and that more people get attention to this piece of art itself.
That's why we do what we do.
Congratulations.
That's awesome stuff. Thank you.
All
Get
right,
that
we're
engraved.
going to bring in our next
Get that
winner.
stitched up right
I
there.
happen to know this guy.
Do you?
Let me tell you.
You know everybody. Look at that.
Congratulations. I'm so happy for you. This is the one only. We talked about you just a little bit ago. Jeffrey
Hey,
Bear.
hi, nice to meet you.
Jeffrey is I called you the unofficial TV historian of Chicago. The official one for WTTW.
Yeah.
But what are you here for?
I
Let's see,
won
because
for
he does a lot.
Hosting Chicago Mysteries.
Okay. There we go. All right.
Chicago Mysteries.
Yeah, that's
Chicago
huge.
Mysteries.
We were just talking about that briefly. How is it to work on something like this? This seems pretty cool. Pretty
Oh,
fun.
we're so lucky at WTTW because we get months and months. I mean, these shows take, the better part of a year to put together. You get a wonderful team, the producer, Sean Keenahan, wonderful shooters, editors, just great team. We do a ton of research, and this was just a really fun show.
And different for you, Jeffrey, because you always bring in a lot of facts coupled with fun, but this time it's
more fun than facts.
More strange, supernatural.
Yeah.
So how did you bring that into your? Is that different?
Well, we all every year we're like, well, what show are we going to do this year? Because I do like one a year, and our head of production, Shelley Spencer, said, what about Chicago Mysteries? And we were like, ooh, we have no idea what that is, but that sounds like a good idea.
Sure.
And then
it became one.
Yes. So, and Shelley, to her credit, just said, you'll figure it out, So, it was, the supposed submarine that was found on the bottom of the Chicago River in 1915. What was it? How did it get there? Who's buried, if anyone, in Couch's tomb in Lincoln Park.
Wow.
This crazy, the Sausage King of Chicago, whose wife disappeared. You can fill in the rest.
I can imagine you get a lot of pushback sometimes maybe for doing these stories, or a lot of intrigue from people in the community as well.
The whole tone of this show was just fun.
Okay, good.
We didn't get a whole lot of pushback on this one.
Let me say, Jeffrey, the consummate host, and now has the Emmy right there to prove it. We all know it in shop, but now we know for sure. Congratulations to you,
Thank
Jeffrey
you,
Bear,
Amanda.
for Chicago Mysteries. That's something, by the way, if you haven't seen it, you can still find it, of course.
WTTW.com/Chicago Mysteries.
Check it out.
And check out Amanda. She is fantastic on WTTW.
Let me tell you,
Hey, I did not pay him to say that.
She has weeks to do this, and she's got an election to deal with in just a few
Oh my
days.
God.
So,
Just,
just
a little
kudos to
thing
you.
on
Just a
Tuesday.
little thing.
Little
Thanks
bit
to
of
both
thing.
of you.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
Jeffrey.
Oh, that was great. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, we will be back. We're taking a mini break, but we'll return with more winners soon.
welcome back, friends. So when you talk about reporting, you got to talk about investigative reporting. It's very important in what we do. You know this. We've got the Outstanding Craft Achievement for Talent Reporter winner in Bennett Haberly. Thank you, Bennett, for being here.
Well, thank you guys for having me. Appreciate it.
And this is, you do have previous Emmys, but this is your first Chicago.
This is first Chicago, number 9 overall.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where do you keep them?
Well, Chicago makes it special, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, are you from
absolutely.
Chicago? Where are you from?
I'm not. I'm originally from Kentucky, but I have family and friends here, so this has always been like the second home for me.
I'm looking at this, and I got to read this. Stories ranging from investigating extremely low rates of sexual assault arrests and convictions to holding Chicago's mayor accountable. This was a composite. What did you want them to get out of this?
Well, I just wanted to wanted people to see that that we put a lot of work into our storytelling, and that we think our stories, the stories we seek out to do investigations on, we think have meaning, have impact. We hold ourselves accountable, and we think it's important to hold elected leaders accountable. So I think that's just kind of what I hope to illustrate through all of this.
I haven't seen your entry, but I'm, of course, curious. In what story did you share to hold the mayor accountable? Do you remember? I know you submit these a while back. The judging process is
I think
intense.
it may have been one where we looked at there was consideration at one point about putting 2,000 migrant families in a lot in Brighton Park that we found had been contaminated for decades. I think it had toxic metals in it, and we pointed this out and were curious about why the city wasn't forthcoming with the fact that people were going to live on this site, and there was just such a delay from the mayor's office in coming forth the basically admission that toxic metals were there. And so we just kind of held their feet to the fire a little bit and said, why, people should know now. They shouldn't have to wait a week.
What does that
and
say?
Ultimately, of course, that plan was scrapped completely due to those environmental concerns.
That's right. Yeah.
Talk about what does that mean, but as a journalist, to be able to do that, and for people at home who say, journalism is a dying art. That's not the case, because people still need to be held accountable, right?
Absolutely. I mean, our work matters.
Yeah.
I think more now than ever before. And I think the thing that's hard is we have inattention, right? I mean, there's so many variables, so many places people can get information, but what we do has very dire, it's extremely important. I'm at a loss for words, but
huge implications nonetheless.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Well, congratulations to you. Bennett Chicago is glad to have you, even if perhaps the mayor or the former mayor may not be.
Right.
Keep that investigative work going. Congratulations
Thank
to
you.
you, and I'll see you at a next press conference.
Absolutely. I'll be there.
Go get that thing
All right,
etched
and now
right
we
now.
have another winner coming on over to the couch. Why don't you go ahead and sit next to Joshua?
Come on over here. She's giddy. Let me tell you, she's so excited. I've seen her mouthing like, I don't believe this. This is amazing. First off, congratulations. For folks who may not have seen your reporting or know who you are, tell them who you are.
My name is Lee Mills, and I'm one of the evening anchors at WMTV 15 News in Madison.
Talk about, it looks like here you got the Craft Achievement Award for Talent News Anchor. That's a big deal.
It's a really big deal. It's such an honor. I have these just waves of emotions because I've watched so many anchors growing up and been so just motivated to do good work by the work that I see in others, and many of them here in this room, and to work in a medium-sized market and compete with big markets and big resources and be the one to be honored is so meaningful. I keep thinking,
Look at you there. Look at you.
Yeah, so this
I saw
is a
him
lot
on
of our
elevator today.
Did you?
Yeah,
so
I did.
he's my new co-anchor. My former co-anchor who won writing actually just retired, but this is some of our political coverage, which was part of my entry. We covered extensively the debate last year, which was part of the entry for the Republican candidates at that time. And so that was just one of the many things in my composite.
And there's so much, Lee, that goes into being an anchor that maybe people don't realize. It's just, some people might assume reading words on a teleprompter.
Read the teleprompter.
It is so much more. I know this, Joshua knows this, but to anybody who has maybe not done that, explain what it takes.
Well, it's so fast-paced. I mean, in one day, you come in, you're at an editorial meeting deciding what are the stories that we're going to cover today, who's going to go out, then you're meeting with your producers, what can I write for the newscast, you're shooting promos. For us in Madison, we're still writing a lot of our own content as well. So some of the political content that you saw there, I worked with our EP on, Maria, who helped put that whole newscast together at 10. So there are so many things that you're really working by the minute. And part of my responsibility is to pre-read scripts, but to be honest, sometimes we don't even have time because you're working on a breaker that's coming in 10 minutes before, and you've got to get in and get your mic on, and then you go.
Yeah.
And
look good doing it.
And look good
going
doing
with
it.
the flow.
Yeah.
Technical issues that may pop
That's right.
up.
You got to roll with
does
it.
not stop. Congratulations to you. This is
Lee.
so huge. I
This is
imagine
huge.
you might have other Emmys, but this is particularly meaningful.
I do. I have two. One was for a feature story. One was for a series I did during COVID featuring my son in his kindergarten year during COVID, which was very special. But I've never won a craft achievement for my personal work, and I have tried many, many times. So this is just the icing on the cake.
How many
It's
kids
so
do you have?
awesome.
Do you mind me asking how many kids?
We have 4. 2 are my stepkids, 2 are my biological, but we have the youngest is 7, has no clue that this is even happening right now. The oldest is in college, and I'm sure is sending me Insta messages right now.
Well, you got 4 children, and now you got triplets. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Congratulations
Have
to
fun.
you.
Thank you.
You have a great time.
Seriously, get a drink or two. That's awesome. She was so giddy. She was so happy. I see her loud
I
over there.
imagine so. I didn't catch it. I don't know. I mean, with that gold dress, how did you not catch it?
How
It's
do you not?
beautiful. She clearly has, the composure, and I think that is so meaningful
That's
to
huge.
somebody because
That's huge.
you do put your work into being an anchor. You know this.
Yeah, and you nailed it right on the head. It's more than just reading. It's more than just looking at a prompter and saying, read those words, right? You've got to be in that seat and command the desk and make sure people at home trust
Command
you.
trust.
Yeah, it's huge.
But also, I got to say, you're friendly. We're fun. This is the first time we're doing this together,
this is
and
the
we are
first
having
time.
a blast.
This is first time. This is great stuff.
So I think we have somebody else.
Yeah,
or
yeah. We're gonna
we
go
are
to break
actually
first.
going to take a we're going to take a little break, and then we're going to.
Do we get
have
drinks
some
during
more
this break? Do we get drinks?
I mean,
I don't know.
I'm game.
We'll figure it out. We'll be right back. Stay there.
As promised, we have more Emmy winners here with us on the couch, and we are joined now by Matt Romito, and this is for a single spot of promotion for sports, in this case, the Chicago Cubbies.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about this campaign.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the simplest way to kind of sum it up is that, the magic of coming to Wrigley Field and seeing a Cubs game, sometimes, you can't explain it, right? You have to see it. And that's where the campaign was born. And we have amazing partners with Energy BBDO who helped us, put it together, and our Cubs productions team at the Cubs, our marketing department. It just kind of all came together.
It really is communal. I mean, I'm not a Cubs fan. Go Sox.
Oh, yeah. Come on. That's what I'm talking about.
They need
You're
all the love
outnumbered,
and all the
buddy,
help, right?
You're outnumbered, buddy.
But going to Wrigley Field is an experience. And so how do you portray that in 30 seconds?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, there's team performance sometimes. There's, sunshine. The bleachers are kind of like its own thing. You can go to a Cubs game or you can go to a Cubs game in the bleachers. There's young people, there's generational, there's really runs the gamut of what you can experience by coming to a Cubs game. And I think that's what this campaign is all about, is you really just need to be there in order to experience what this is like, because it's like going to, it's going to a sports game, but it's also like going to a concert. It's just, it's a very communal experience.
We're looking at some of that video right there. You see and Harry Carey, some of the famed people that will be on the north side. This is a south sider talking to you, but I say this genuinely. I've been on the north side. I've seen, during the World Series a few years back, and I can tell you it's something special there. Do you think you got the message across to people who've never been to a Cubs game?
I hope so. Yeah, I mean, it's two things, right? It's reminding people how great it is, and hopefully they, oh, you know what? I did have a great time last time I was there. Or it's for people who are either Cubs fans who don't make it there often, and it reminds them. Or if someone is maybe on the fence, lives a little bit farther away, deciding between what they're doing, they see this and say, oh wow, like there's so much more to it than just watching a game, and decide to to come and make the trip.
It's not even cold out yet, and it makes me ready for baseball and summer. World Series over, and I'm ready for it to start again. Congratulations to you once again. That's Matt Romito, who has won the Outstanding Achievement for Sports Promotion. We're going to ask you to take your Emmy.
Yeah,
and
get out of here.
Celebrate and have fun. Thank you so much, and then we'll be joined by our next guest.
He's going to the north side.
Thank you so much,
Matt. Come on over.
Come on by.
We've got winner after winner now. We've got sticking with sports anchor, sports reporter, sports analyst, sports play-by-play. We've got from WDJT.
Two of those things.
From WDJT, we've got Scott. How do you say your last name, friend?
Grodsky.
Scott, congratulations on the award. Talk about this. This is a composite, correct?
Yeah, it was a composite. A little bit of anchoring stuff, a lot of reporting. Tried to get a couple of important community stories in there for sports, because it's you usually look at just the sports and the angle of the field guys, but there are some athletes who are doing some really incredible things. So got to tell a story about a former player for the Bucks who battles alcoholism and is running a center in the community now as well. And then that story is called Next 18. It's a veteran project that uses 4 or 5 day golf retreats to some of the best courses in the country to get veteran. That's sort of their that's their pitch, that's their cherry. To then they have hours and hours of work with therapists and with breathing and with everything else to get through some of the stuff that we can never understand.
Well, you just answered 8 of our questions, so we're going to tell you to go. No, really quickly, Scott, favorite team that you've covered or a favorite moment that you have of the last year?
Favorite moment over the last year, honestly, that Next 18 story was probably it. It was a really powerful story, and to get to see some of the vulnerabilities of some of those, frankly, heroes, and I felt very honored to tell that story.
Well, congratulations once again. That is Scott Grodsky of WDJT. Congratulations to you, and go enjoy the rest of your night with your statue.
Thank you. Please take that as well. Absolutely. I'm saying, take the cards.
Come
we don't want
on
them.
over.
Take
Come
these
on
things.
over.
Come on over, please.
Come on down.
Yeah. You're the next
Price is
contestant.
right. Come on down.
Good to see you.
Hello.
Earlier. Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah, that's right.
Lovely to meet you.
We got to take this over here.
Exactly.
Come on. Okay, so here we go.
What?
Outstanding achievement for news promotion, single spot campaign. Alice in Weatherland?
Yeah. I gotta say, my daughter's name is Alice, so I love it. Love it, love it. Mwah, baby.
We've got Tim Campbell and Tom. How do you say the last name?
No, this is Andrew.
Oh, Andrew. Oh, gotcha.
Andrew won a different Emmy.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, they've buried you. Your producers just buried you. It's okay.
Not the first time.
We're okay with it.
It's not the first time.
Okay, so
Andrew and I worked together 25 years ago, and he won the award before I. So he was ahead of me, and then I won the next Emmy tonight. And so that's why we're together, because we worked together 25 years ago.
Yeah, I'm on the couch because unfortunately there's a trend known as hidden homicide, where people are getting murdered, but the cops write off as a suicide. And so we did a long-form documentary about this phenomenon, and it needed some promos, and I did some spots, and it worked out well.
Terrifying. Is this widespread?
Some would say it's not widespread like in the millions, but widespread in the thousands. And imagine if you're a family and you get no closure and you think your relative killed himself, but in fact it was homicide.
I guess my question is, what tipped you off on that? How did you guys find out about this?
Our investigative unit, Andrew Schroeder, Larry Potash, Michael D'Angelo, just like anything, developing sources and talking to people, and one thing led to another, and they're doing a half hour on it.
So I want to make sure that we have your last name, it's WGN, and this is the Emmy for?
The promo for that series, Andrew Lenny, Lennie.
There we go. We want to make sure all the viewers know exactly who you are. And over to Alice in Weatherland with WEEK.
Wow, how do I follow that?
Well,
I mean,
you've got to though.
It was
weather is scary too. Not
we got
that
a bunch
terrifying.
of meteorologists together, and we decided to have a tea party.
You're kidding.
And we this wonderful young lady, and she played Alice, and we didn't know what to call it, and then we're like, oh, Alice in Weatherland, wouldn't that be a great name for this? But these are all of our meteorologists, and they're talking about the changes in the weather.
Talk about the shoot itself. I can imagine how fun that was and how geeky it was.
Well, it was really tough to do because we shot it. It was very cold that day. There was no leaves on the tree, so we had to buy like fake leaves and wisteria and all that kind of. That sounds like a disease. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, all that kind of thing. Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was kind of fun.
That does look like such a party.
Sometimes you just gotta have fun with it, right?
Yeah,
good.
Success. And I have to say, I'm surprised that the idea came before the name. I would have thought the name and it was how do we execute. But
No, it was. We wanted to do it like an Alice in Wonderland, but then we came up with that later on. So yeah, perfect. Thank you very much.
Deserves an Emmy. That's huge.
So that was the outstanding achievement for a news promotion. I think you were able to see right there why that was Emmy-worthy. Congratulations to each of you.
Yeah.
We're going to bring on over our next guest.
Thank you
Good
both.
to see you again.
Thank you. Thank you both. That's awesome.
All right.
To hear, by the way, some of these stories is pretty remarkable. As we bring up more winners
yes,
here.
We have
Come on down the red carpet that's not red.
Stories. Hello.
How are you? Both of you. Welcome and congratulations to you both. We've got here Outstanding Achievement for Commercial Single Spot Campaign. This is huge. Let's start with you. What's your name?
Aime Cáceres.
Perfect.
Yadira Sanchez.
And this is for what part did you do in this commercial?
I was the DP, so I was behind the camera the whole time.
You did all of it though. I mean, DP does a lot of work.
Yeah, behind the camera in the trenches.
Talk about this campaign if you can. Talk about it for those who may not have seen it.
So it started with the Field Museum wanting to kind of revamp their brand a little bit and target our Hispanic audience. And so they gave us kind of a lot of leeway. They said, here's what our brand stands for. What do you guys think, and what can you come up with? So we came up with the idea of going back to when we were little, and we cast a little Hispanic girl who showed the museum through her eyes, basically, throughout the campaign. They loved the idea, and then we just had to go and show up and do an overnight shoot. It took us about 5 hours overnight to film this.
That's
but
it.
We were filming.
But I would say, I'm sure it's fairly short in the end.
Well, the campaign itself was a 30-minute spot and then two 2-minute spots.
Wow.
So ideally we'd have about a week to do it all, but we had one night. And then our actress was doing all this on a school night. So
She was on a school night doing
on
this?
a school night.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But now she was part of an Emmy-worthy production at a very young age, a literal night at the museum.
Little night, we were there till 3 in the morning.
Till 3 in the morning?
Yeah.
Was there something spooky that happened? Did you hear anything?
They told us not to talk about it.
Okay,
I'm just kidding.
That's great stuff.
What's on the internet stays on the internet.
We don't divulge secrets. Congratulations, Sibo.
Congratulations to each of you. So nice to meet you.
Congratulations. Enjoy it. Enjoy it, guys.
The Field Museum,
awesome.
That is really such a wonderful story. I feel like when you first go to a museum, it's true. You capture that wonder.
Yeah.
It's
huge. And from
as an adult, I go into the Field Museum and I have that same sense of wonder.
Took the words right out of my mouth. We're going to have our next winner come over here. Not scripted. You just walk on over. Come on over.
Come on down.
Come
Price
on
is
over.
Right style.
Come on down.
Super excited to be here.
Oh, you should be.
You should be.
You should be. What do we have here, man? What do we have?
I'm Kim Lefko with Ace Hardware.
Oh my God.
Yes, we just won for branded content long form.
Yes.
Oh, this is great.
All right, so this is with One Pill XVP Studios. You're Kim.
Yes.
What's your name?
Michael.
Okay, and what's your name?
Patrick.
Then we got one behind you.
Oh, yes. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I'm Allie. I edited this.
Allie, you edited this. And so tell us a little bit about this long-form content for branded. Ace Hardware has a legacy. What were you trying to get across?
Yeah, so in celebration of our 100th, we turned 100 this year, we decided our purpose is we exist to help others. And local store owners across the country give back in really cool ways. And this is just one story of 2 moms who lost their sons to the fentanyl crisis. And we featured their story because they were acting out in support to get the word out, and we put it together in a docuseries, but there are 100 more of these under the branded content of Heartwear. And XVP, just an amazing partner, helped us to capture these awesome stories inside Ace stores and inside these communities in film in touching ways. So stories connect us, and that's what we were aiming to do.
You don't usually put the two together, right? You usually don't do that. Talk about how this was able to come together so effortlessly and becoming an Emmy Award winning.
I mean, basically we were able to find these two stories, and the beauty of it was that they were both similar stories, but from separate coasts, right? One's kind of battling in Maryland, the other one's battling on San Francisco. So being able to recognize like these two mothers are doing the exact same thing and share that story, and kind of bring it together to show that it is a national epidemic, was kind of the whole purpose of it, and bringing awareness to that. So
this is great. You guys over us. I know you guys are happy too.
A century of anniversaries, and quite the way to cap it off with an Emmy.
I know we said this is hardware that's unusual, but we love it.
We love it.
Where is it going to go?
We're going to have to get some more because we need one for XVP inside of Ace. But we're super excited to just turn the spotlight on the heroes inside Ace stores.
This is
Congratulations to you and to the entire team on this latest Emmy. Some hardware, new hardware for Ace Hardware.
That's right.
It's safe to say they nailed this.
Good. And you nailed that ending. Transitions in the biz. I'm not going to screw it up.
We'll be right back. We got more winners, right?
Yeah.
Stay there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Welcome back, everybody. I'm so excited about this next interview.
Me too.
We've got Rebecca Cowing here. I can't even, there's no title for Rebecca because she does everything. So it's hard to put a title on it, but you are the recipient of the Governor's Award. And before we even get to this, I just want to say I am so happy to sit next to you as an anchor in the business now. When I was in college, she was the one pushing me, and I would pass her office every day going to TV class.
Scouted that talent, witnessed it, and
I saw him as a freshman on Frequency TV at Columbia College, and I just said, this kid, he's really good. And so I called people in the department.
Yeah, and I started getting emails.
You know people in the biz.
Right.
A couple of folks.
Just a couple of folks. I just want to say congratulations.
Oh,
We're
thank
happy
you.
for you here. Talk about it. So the Governor's Award, what is that about? And that's a huge honor.
Yeah.
How did they, all right, you do everything.
Yeah.
So how long was this kept a secret? And
Seriously.
can you share when you learned you were going to be receiving this award? It wasn't tonight. You knew
It wasn't
to get
tonight.
dressed
Yeah,
up
it
and
was
bring
at
the
a
fam
board
along.
meeting, I think
It's at
about.
a board meeting, of course.
It was at a Zoom board meeting.
The way of the world.
Yep.
Oh, these are my two daughters.
Yeah, oh, they're the two daughters
And
right
husband
there.
Lee.
You can tell she doesn't love talking about herself, so let's keep asking her the tough questions. That's- How old are you guys?
I'm 16.
16 and?
14.
You guys go to Columbia College, right?
Huh?
Columbia College? No? Okay. All right. No. That's where your office was for so many years. I've been passing going to class.
Still is.
Yeah.
So this story about Joshua is something that really resonates with you. That sounds like your wife.
Yes, it does sound like Becky, and I know at least a dozen stories that she's told me over the years of interns she's had and volunteers and students from her scholarship who've just gone on to great things. So
And this whole production
Yeah.
right here
Yeah, right.
is done by high school students.
Yeah.
Which is wild. They're doing great.
Like high school students and college students, and they're learning so much, and it's really important.
So what does this award mean to you after watching so many people cross the stage?
It's
Have
weird.
a statuette.
It's
like
weird.
this?
It's weird.
Have you,
yeah.
have it?
Because I feel like it's okay. Yeah. I guess yeah.
See, I told you she loves
No,
talking about herself.
because you know it's a ton of work. It's a ton of work.
Yeah,
You know.
I know you had lots of lost hours with your daughters and your husband, but when you see them
Yeah.
around you for this moment,
What was really nice was when everyone stood up and was clapping, so that was very nice. Yeah.
Rebecca, thank you.
Yeah.
Really incredible. As a working mom, I know you
Yeah.
give up a lot.
Nah.
It is.
Nah.
Do you hate the Emmy?
Sometimes.
Let me tell you something. I can only imagine.
October.
The month of October?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Leading up to the Emmys, and yeah, the
little stressful at home.
The living room
Oh,
gets
we don't hear
full
anything
of, like,
about
all
it.
the
It's like, where's
centerpieces.
Mom?
October is haunting for different reasons, and I guess we know
Which is
now
why you're going home tonight with this.
Yeah.
you
so
deserve
thank
it.
you.
It is so good to see you.
All right,
Thank
you
you.
too.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
What a
Thank you.
wonderful story
I
and
know.
lovely to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being so giving
Yeah.
of your family.
Yeah.
It is all of Chicago and Midwest.
My oldest is at college at University of Iowa, so they couldn't be here
Hawkeyes.
tonight.
Oh, Hawkeyes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I really
I don't
like
mind, but a fan.
We're going to do you like you used to do us all the time in TV. You got to get out of here because we got more people to go. Thank you so much.
The
Thank
work
you
is
guys.
not over. Even
Yeah.
when you win,
Thank
you get
you.
to celebrate some, but I'm sure that there are plenty of fires to put out yet.
I got to get on the website.
It's going great.
Update all the stuff. I still have to send stuff to RS Owens. There's a whole list of things I have to do before the end of the night.
She's not even going to sleep until after midnight.
RS
It's great
Owens is
stuff.
they do the awards.
Yeah.
At 4 a.m. Yeah.
Yeah.
You party until midnight
That's
and
it.
then work from 1 until 4.
That's
That's
basically
how
it.
this goes.
Thank you guys.
Congratulations to
That's
you and your
huge.
family.
That's
it is really
huge.
awesome. The Governor's Award is just what it sounds like.
It
really
is.
the pinnacle award and one that is given to people who have
put their heart, their soul, the hours, and it is clear that Rebecca Cowing has done just that. We're going to go back to sort of the more traditional Emmys right now.
Come on over here.
Come on down.
Come on up. We got a line form, and this is good.
We've
when
got
you've got this
spots
line form
on the
right
couch
now.
for plenty of people. Sit wherever.
Congratulations. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Joshua, nice to meet you. And nice to meet you.
Let's just have
This is
everybody
the team.
introduce themselves quickly.
Hi, Ann Sedgwick. Carolyn Bergen.
Hi, I'm Juan Pablo.
Samantha Voppel.
Right here.
Brent Taylor.
I'm Joe Glatz. Max Miller.
Perfect. That's a lot of names. Come on now. Outstanding achievement for branded content, short form content. 10,000 transplants, 10,000 stories, Northwestern Medicine. And talk about this.
So it was a really exciting project because our transplant team at Northwestern Medicine hit 10,000 transplants. So it was abdominal, so kidney, liver, pancreas. And so we decided the best way to share that milestone was to hear from people who'd actually gone through the program and were living because of it. So we had patients who had organ transplants. They were sitting next to, some of them sitting next to the person who donated, which was very powerful. In one case, they had been strangers before, and the gentleman donated his liver to this woman. So it was really, really powerful, and we were just so proud to tell these stories. It was really amazing.
Is part of the goal for something like this to encourage people to be open to being donors themselves, or to celebrate the success? What is the objective?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, we want people to be open to donating whatever organ they might think. We also want to bring, attention to the fact that transplanting is a actual successful way of alleviating certain diseases that previously were not able, like liver transplant, as we know.
And that Northwestern Medicine has a very unique program dedicated to transplants.
What is unique about it? Just
why don't Ann speak to that?
Yeah, so what's really amazing, so we have a Hispanic transplant program, which was the first, I believe, in the world.
Wow.
We have an African American access program, which it's huge. And what they've realized is it's the same procedure under the skin, but the person who shows up for the transplant, they bring with them their history, their story, and not everybody approaches medical procedures the same way. So I think our team is really extraordinary and leading the way to opening transplantation to communities that might have, concerns about it. And it's been really amazing. We have, so the chief, Satish Nadig, one of the most brilliant people we've ever met, and he's really said, how do we get this story out so that more people know this is a way that you can live a longer, healthier life? And Dr. Danae Simpson with the African American Access Program, same thing. They said, we just need to get these stories out to show people this is an absolute game changer to living a longer, healthier life.
And
so we're
that people can watch this on the Northwestern website?
So we're on Northwestern, so nm.org, and then Northwestern Medicine, we have it on all of our social channels, but also YouTube. But it's really just, we're doing such game-changing medication. We really are at the forefront of medicine and gearing up to be one of the best in the world, definitely top in the nation. So it's really exciting to be able to share these stories that we see every day that maybe people across the nation don't get to see. We're really proud to be here at Northwestern.
I love the fact that none of the men said anything. That's how it should be.
Yes.
That's how it should be.
Stand back there and they look pretty. No, but you know what, everybody did a great job.
Yeah, you guys,
Team effort.
you can tell, you guys can tell, and that's what's so great about this. So thank you so much, and congratulations to you and the team.
Yes,
Thank you guys.
Bring in our next set of winners.
Yeah,
but
thank
we
you
are
guys.
So proud, and that reminds me, Joshua. I need to donate blood. It all matters.
It does.
Signing
It's
up and
life-saving.
being willing to be tested so that you can identify if there is a match for so many different forms, be it kidney, liver, or again, just donating blood. So very important. There are often shortages.
Perfect.
We've got the one, the only, the food guy, Steve Dolinsky. What are you here for? Hi, Steve.
Hi, how are you?
Good to see you again.
I'm going to do this a lot throughout the night, and I
You know what,
apologize.
Steve
I grew up
doesn't
watching you.
remember. I interned for you.
What? What? Are you
Yes,
serious?
yes, back at CLTV for Good Eating.
Oh my God.
Back in the day, it was great. I got to eat. It was wonderful. Nelson Howard, I still see him out and about. Videographer, he's remarkable, and you're still killing it and eating your way through Chicago. Lucky guy.
One calorie at a time. Thanks. No, we love it.
So we're here for short and long form content, outstanding achievement for lifestyle. This is Chicagoland's Best Bites. Again, you get to go to everywhere in Chicago and Chicagoland, more than just pizza. What did you feature in this entry? Do you recall?
So this was a special half hour we did for MAQ, because typically I do my Thursday night stories that are really quick, 2.5 minutes. And I said, why don't we do something a little bit longer, like, remember Good Eating Days? 30 people in Chicago like food shows. And so they said, sure, let's do it. So we put together some of our greatest hits and went out and shot some original stand-ups at some new places. And we did pizza, we talked about Michelin stars, we talked about elevated soul food in Hyde Park, just the whole gamut. That's what's so great about Chicagoland. I mean, that's why I think people gravitate toward food programming, because it's what we talk about all the time. Wow. We're stuck inside several months a year. We're thinking about, where are we going to go for dinner this weekend? What are we going to do when our family's coming to town? Where are we going to take them? Yep. And you don't want to just go to the same tourist places on Michigan Avenue. You want to go to the neighborhoods. You want to get out and show them where locals eat. Yeah. And that's kind of what my mission is, right? So I get excited about this kind of stuff.
And there are so many options. It has to be annoying because everybody always has to ask something like, what's your favorite? So I'm not going to ask that. Really I won't.
Annoying. It's never annoying. No, I'm happy to because I want people to experience these great places that deserve it. Like a little place like My Pie that's doing deep dish pizza in Bucktown. 53, 54 years old as Lou Malnati's actually. Wow. But Lou's has got 70 locations and My Pie has one. Mm-hmm. So I'm happy to tell people, or Slab in South Shore, for barbecue. Yes, everybody talks about the great places on 55th and in Bronzeville, but I think Slab on 71st is an amazing place for Chicago South Side barbecue.
And for some reason,
great tips right there.
He still is in great shape.
So what's the secret?
It's Core Power Yoga. No, shout out to Core Power. I do it almost every day. I've got the Black Label card. I've been a member there for years. I go 5 days a week.
Awesome.
It works.
That's
there
great.
You go. You have to do, if you do the work, you also have to pay the price. But
it's a balance, equilibrium.
There is.
Yeah.
It is so nice to meet you, and congratulations.
The next documentary, perhaps.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
How to stay spelled.
Thank you.
Congratulations to Steve Zielinski.
I mean, that's cool to meet him and just shake his hand and talk. I mean, you said it. You've interned for him. I've watched him for years.
You know what would make it better? No offense to the organizers of this Backstage program. Honored to be here and do this. But, I mean, if we had some abs or something.
Just when he comes over, just put that on the table.
If we just, if he could serve up the Emmy.
Come on over here. Congratulations. We got more winners, y'all.
All right.
We've got more winners.
Come on by.
Come out. We got the whole family. We've seen him once. This is for Outstanding Achievement of Human Interest.
There we go. They're back. All right.
You are testing the limits over here. You're putting the pressure on. Oh, my goodness. So we've got Outstanding Achievement for Human Interest, short-form content. Can I ask you your name?
Melissa Ralstad.
And talk about the role you played in this, 25 million stitches. We talked about this a little bit, but if you can as well.
Yep. I am the executive director of the Wisconsin Museum of Quilts and Fiber Arts, and it was the project that was at the museum, so it was our exhibition.
I love that Wisconsin has a museum of quilting and fiber arts.
And we're awesome, so you need to come check us out. We are in Cedarburg, Wisconsin, which is only about 30 minutes north of Milwaukee.
Okay, good to know.
When you were first approached about this project, what went through your mind?
One of our volunteers actually came to us about the project, and our thought was, we need to make this happen. We need to figure out a way to do this. It's an important story to tell, but we're also the perfect place to do it. We're located on an intact German farmstead from the 19th century. Our gallery is this old, gorgeous barn that's been restored, so it's just the perfect place for these fiber panels that are hanging that make up the exhibition.
And are they still hanging, or is this exhibition moved on?
It has moved on, so it's not at the museum anymore, although if you want to see the video, it is on our YouTube channel, so you can check out the YouTube channel. But it is currently at a museum in California now, so it is a touring exhibition.
And before we move on, who else here wants to speak about the project, and not just about 25 million stitches, but about showing it in a form that people who might not be able to get to Cedarsburg or to California, for that matter, at this juncture, will be able to view it on their screen at home?
Well, it is on YouTube.
Oh, that's
good. So it can be seen. Is it still on your website?
There's a link on our website, yes.
Yeah.
To the YouTube channel, otherwise it's on the museum's YouTube channel.
This is just part of the crew that was really involved in doing this. So there's an equal number at least that are people that were very involved in this from inception to completion. So we are very happy to be here tonight. But
you are?
I'm Patrice Nault. I'm with Plum Media. So I'm Director of Operations, an executive producer on the project. So
congratulations to you. And I do think that goes to show This is a team effort. When whatever you are watching at home, there is a whole crew of people behind it, to folks who produce the cards,
There you go.
do the background research.
Seriously.
I just pulled it out
No,
of your
it's
hand,
fine.
sorry.
Paper cut.
But really, I mean, to lighting, to editing, conception. Anybody else want to share a particular story or highlight?
We can turn around.
Otherwise,
Fine,
you can
guys
just
are-
party.
Yeah, man.
We'll party. My name is Jack Hurst with Hurst Marketing Resources, and got to know Melissa, and I've known Plum. And when we saw what Jennifer Kim Sung was doing in her story, I brought it to Plum, and Jose and his team brought it to life. It's quite a story.
Wow.
It truly is.
Wow.
This is an evening for storytelling and for statuettes.
Yeah,
so
this is huge.
Congratulations
This is huge.
to the whole
Congrats.
team for this honor. We're going to take a break.
Yep, we'll be right back. Stay there.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Congratulations, you guys. Well done. Welcome back, friends. So we've got a really special guest here, winner of Outstanding Achievement for DEI, Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, long-form content. We're joined, of course, introduce folks who may not know who you are, and then we got to talk about who this is next to you as well.
And this is an award, by the way, to WBBM for Call
CBS,
to
yep.
Action, Justice for Black Women. And you are Relisha Brumfield.
I am. I'm Relicia Brumfield. I am so honored to be here today. Shout out to Dorothy Tucker and our entire team, but really the women that we did this work for. It really was in service to them.
Relicia, you got your son here real quick. I know you had a question, but what's your name?
My name's Aiden Brumfield, and
you're the baby.
Right.
He's the baby.
I'm just happy to be here, I guess, man. Yep.
It's got to be awesome to see your mom awarded for the long, hard hours she puts in.
Of course, I definitely see the work paying off. She works hard every day and night. It's just great to see.
Isn't that wholesome to hear that?
It warms my heart.
Yeah.
Tell us about this project, because you said this is in service to really victims.
Yes, absolutely. Well, our investigative team spent really years digging through data and found alarming statistics. One that really stood out was for one every white girl, there are 14 black girls who are victims of crime, and some of them may never see justice. And so how do we amplify that important conversation? So this became a labor of love. Our investigative team really dug deep. Dorothy Tucker and the investigative team launched a series. Call to Action specifically was a community broadcast, and we wanted to open it up to the community and really, really discuss this important issue.
Talk about the impact of this reporting. We're seeing part of it here because I know local officials got involved as well because of this reporting.
Yes, we were able to really hear from Chicago Superintendent Larry Snelling, Cook County State's Attorney's Office, Kim Fox, really learn of their programming and commitment to this work, but more importantly, really, really, really helping to not only amplify the conversation for justice, but ensuring that justice is served. And so there's still a lot of work to do. And what I really would encourage everyone is to vote, because the Cook County State's Attorney is on the ballot, and it's important who we put in office so women, especially black women, can experience justice.
What an alarming statistic. And how does it feel to have not just completed this work and really dug it up, found it, but also seen action come of it? That's sort of why we get into this business, right?
Yes, I shared with the team as we were preparing to produce this part of the work, the community broadcast, may we never keep our eye off the mission, keep it always on the mission, and that's really to serve Greater Chicago, specifically black women. And so it feels great, but really it's about justice, and so many women need it. We can't stop until it's done.
To you,
congratulations.
Yeah. Dorothy
Yes.
and the team, congratulations. Seriously,
Once again, that is Relisha Brumfield, and bye, Aiden. It was a pleasure to meet you. You look real spiffy, buddy.
I know, I'm a little jealous over here. Hurry up, move out the way. We've got more guests coming up, actually. We've got some right now. You guys go enjoy it. I know you guys got a lot to enjoy. We got a couple more guests, and I know you want this, so you take. I don't want to take that. Congratulations, y'all. To hear those stories, it's impactful.
I remember that reporting, and it's incredible because I think really it has gone all over Chicago. It is no longer just one story. Come and sit down, hang out.
Come on over.
Yes,
you got the statue.
please.
You come on over as well. Have a seat.
All right.
This is about you guys. Come on over, guys. We can make some rooms.
Yes,
we can make some rooms.
We got room.
Come on in.
Okay.
Let's get comfy. I like this guy. Congratulations.
We have the winners joining us, Joshua, of the Public Affairs Program short form content that's up to 15 minutes. So sort of medium of program, I'm going to call it. Short form. 15 minutes is fairly lengthy. And this is for the impacts of the Indian Child Welfare Act by Discover Media Works. So go ahead and please introduce yourself.
Okay. I'm sorry. So
Fine.
it's grabbing the mic, right? Someone gives you something, you take it, right? No, my name's Rob Reeder. I'm the Chief Operations Officer with the Ho-Chunk Nation.
Yep. And can I get your names as well?
Pleasure.
Yep, my name is Rosalind Cleveland, and I'm the Public Relations Officer for the Ho-Chunk Nation.
I'm Brett Ralsted. I'm the producer on the project.
And Chair, this is the Ho-Chunk Nation has preserved its history through oral tradition, and this is a piece about the ICWA. Share why you wanted more people, not just oral tradition, but of course this is the Emmys. This has a visual component as well.
Right. So for me, it's important to tell stories. Last year we won a Emmy for one of the stories that we had for Mr. Truman Lowe. This year we had Discover Media Works, and Brett and his team kind of go outside their comfort zone, not necessarily a tourism piece, but definitely something that needs to be told, because it is part of history. It's part of American history. There's good things about American history, there's bad things about American history, and these things are now coming to light. So.
Talk about that. I just want to you touch on the history aspect of it, because we're starting to see so much now where there are so many changes in schools, there are changes in how people learn their history. When you have a project like this, it's hugely important. Do I have that right?
Yes.
Yeah. Talk about that a little bit. Talk about how fulfilling it is to have that message out there, to have people learn about something through this storytelling.
I think it's important to bring light to a subject that might be kind of something that a lot of people don't know about, but to bring light to it and educate and just learn from it and grow.
Where can people view this?
They can go to Discover Media Works or
Is there a website?
DiscoverWisconsin.com. We're a partner. The Whole Chunk Nation is a partner with Discover Wisconsin, and it'll take them to the video. And as you were just mentioning, it's recent history, because the lady that we interviewed, Miss Loa Porter, she was taken from her home at the age of 5 years old on Christmas Day.
Oh.
So taken out of her home and put somewhere else where people thought she would be better. And part of the Indian Child Welfare Act is to make sure that children maintain their sense of community and their sense of tradition. Correct.
Ancestry.
Correct. Yeah. So one person's definition of a good home isn't everybody's definition of a good home. So.
And how did you tell that story?
It was incredibly difficult. I will say that.
You don't have video footage from when she was 5 years old.
No, and that was one of the biggest challenges. I think we had to rely on kind of interpretive storytelling in a way where obviously we can't show children that are being taken home from their home from now, but it's an important story, and I think the impactfulness of the story that we did get, the interview that we did get, I mean, that was all that we needed. Anything that we could have overlaid on top of that was regardless. It was just an important story to tell.
You guys should be proud of the story that you were able to tell, and obviously it's Emmy winning. So congratulations.
So thank you. Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Good to see you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Congratulations again. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. We got more winners to talk about today. We got a lot of winners coming right now.
do.
This is huge.
It's really awesome.
It
It's
is.
inspiring. It makes me, no matter what, I'd be going to work in hard this election week, but it makes me want to get to work on
There
Monday,
you go.
know?
Exactly. It's inspiring in so many ways. Come on over, y'all. Y'all look great. Y'all look like a musician band or something coming over here. Come on now. This is great. This is great. How are you?
And this is an award for Outstanding Achievement for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion short form content of Marianne's story. So let's go ahead and introduce yourselves, please.
Hi, my name is Marissa Van Clay. I'm the Director of Production with Spirit Juice Studios.
I'm Rob Kasmark with Spirit Juice.
And I'm Susan Barrett. I'm with Aid for Women and the Executive Director.
This is huge. DEI short form. Talk about how you were able to tell this story. I'm just looking at the describer here. The description says, a Colombian woman faced many challenges traveling from her hometown to Chicago, Illinois. Talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we were so honored to be able to work with Aid for Women to tell Mariana's story. She really faced so many struggles on her way, all the way from Colombia through Mexico up into the United States. And so we were able to interview her and some other people who supported her with Aid for Women in order to tell her story.
She was pregnant at the time she was making this dangerous travel journey.
Yeah, so at Aid for Women, we've been in the Chicago area since 1978, and we operate 8 pregnancy help centers and 2 maternity homes. And Mariana and her boyfriend just decided to travel from Colombia to the U.S., hoping to find better times and more prosperity. And they traveled all the way through the Darien Gap and traveled by foot all the way.
It's dangerous.
And very dangerous. And then when they were just south of the U.S., close to the border, she was kind of kidnapped by cartels that kind of wanted her baby. She was like 8 or 9 months at that time. And so it was very dangerous all along the way, but she found her way to Chicago and she moved into our maternity homes, and we were able to provide her safety and comfort and the love that she was looking for.
So is this a story with a happy ending?
Oh, absolutely, yes, yes. Uh-huh.
That's huge.
Wonderful to hear.
I want to ask you really quickly, because I know you played a role in this, a huge role in this. When you're doing a story like this, What going into it, you have a goal, but it always changes sometimes, almost always in what we do in storytelling. How did this change for you guys in terms of the goal here?
You know, you go into this with an open mind. You know the basis of the story, but you see it evolve. And we've had the pleasure working with Sue and Aid for Women for a number of years. This is actually the second Emmy we've won with them. And it really is one of those things where you're open to the experience and you just want to capture it. And the work they do, it's truly, truly life-changing for so many women. And so we're just feel very privileged to help support and just shine a light on the work that they're doing.
Congratulations to your whole team, and it's wonderful to hear that Mariana is doing well, and hopefully her baby as well.
Yeah.
Thank you for your work. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you guys. We're going to roll in some more guests if you guys don't mind.
Thank you very much. Bye. Yes, have fun. Enjoy the rest of the evening.
Yeah, seriously. Again, y'all look great, man. Thank you. I feel like I should change. I feel like I should go back home and change.
No, you look good. You look good.
You look great, too.
But let me tell you, that is awesome to see everybody celebrating, and then also the fashion.
Look, I'm telling you, y'all look great. Y'all look amazing. Congratulations, y'all. It's good to see you again. It's good to see you.
Hello.
Let's talk about this. You guys, it looks like a magazine program, single program series, WLS, Our Chicago History and Heritage. Talk about, first off, introducing yourselves. Let's start there.
I'm Jasmine Miner, but the real person you need to know is Taylor Musgrove, who this is her first Chicago Emmy as an executive producer. And
Yes,
she
yes.
is, she
Thank
gets all the
you,
flowers.
thank
She
you.
inspired the story that I did that was part of the special, but she was the woman behind all this and deserves all of it.
Thank you.
Tell us about the origin.
Yeah, so we do a Black History special every year, but this year we just really wanted to switch it up, and we wanted our talent to be way more involved in the story instead of just fronting it. We wanted them to be in it. So Jasmine Miner, she did story yogaletics, and she actually took the yoga class.
Yes, I took the yoga class. It was actually amazing. I realize I'm not as flexible as I used to be, but I think that's the whole point of being there. But I think more importantly, this yogaletics class was run by a black man, and you know, to be able to see that mental health that he's been able to put on the forefront, I think is very rare in our community, and it's something that Taylor was able to find and obviously put on display and realizes the importance of that.
How did this idea come about? When did it start? How did that happen?
Oh, wow. So we really hit the ground running between December and January for it to end at the end of February. So it's a quick process.
But
But
the story, finding a story to
Yep,
tell.
yep, and then finding what makes sense together. Like, how can we make these stories flow? How can they become a special? So,
Look at that.
yeah.
We're looking at a video there, and I think I just saw
Oh,
you
yeah,
in the
Jose
yoga
Standard
studio.
Show.
Burton.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, this is number 21
for Jose. Yes.
21.
I'm on the first, and he's on the 21st.
And wow. There is a whole team here. We got Taylor, Jordan Arsenault, who we had seen up here previously, William Blake Duffner. There are so many names that we've already had on this couch, which I think really speaks to the talent in Chicago and, of course, yes, at WLS.
Yeah, and I just really have to give a huge shout out to the programming department. We're small but mighty. We were put together by Dave Lee and Matt Knutson, and it's such a pleasure working at ABC7.
I can feel the joy radiating from you. It's a wonderful feeling. I'm got to get my butt to a yoga class ASAP.
Do it.
Was it hot yoga or
Especially
regular
in our
yoga?
business,
Regular
right?
yoga.
No, hot
So
yoga,
important.
no way. I feel like
way.
that's more stress. But
Yes.
you got to
I'm
take
with
yoga
you.
with our business. We need that.
We need that release.
breather.
We need that breather.
Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
I need the muscle.
Let's talk about it.
And you
Thank
need the
both.
muscle to carry this. These things are
heavy.
heavy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Thank you both. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Congratulations.
so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you. You all have a good one.
Congratulations to the entire team at ABC7 Chicago. We got some more winners coming on too. Look, come on, y'all. Congratulations.
so much. Thank you.
Oh my God. Look at you.
Look at him. Do you mind? Can I touch? Holy smokes. Come on.
It looks expensive, right?
It's expensive, I'm telling you.
Costoso.
Is that how you said it again?
Yeah, costoso in Spanish. En español.
I do one of those, actually. I've learned very little. We need to hang out more.
Yes, we have to.
We can do that. Okay.
Congratulations.
I've got to read what you're here for. All right, the Public Affairs Program for a Single Program Series, WSNS. And, oh, look at this. Is
Has it hit you yet?
Incredible.
Not yet. I was so nervous. Jose knows that because this was such a special project. We did a 30-minute special in Spanish about LGBTQ. celebrating Pride, and this is the first time that in Telemundo we air a 30-minute special in Spanish in the history in Chicago. In Chicago, we've done stories, of course, special stories, but a 30-minute special, fully special in Spanish about LGBTQ community, trans immigrants, queer boys and girls.
Which shout out to my cousin
special.
Ed. He shared his story.
I was going to say, so Ed was
Ed was a part of the story. He's a trans man who has embraced his journey and is my cousin, my primano. I love him, and as a gay man too, coming in this industry, it's so hard to like find your voice. But when you have people like Alfonso leading the group, it's so easy to find your voice and step up to the plate and be who you are.
Well, and I think that something that we often forget as storytellers and journalists is the courage that it takes to go in front of a camera, to be honest and be yourself and share something that is so personal.
Yeah, we see it on a daily basis. Every story that we tell, every person who gives us a soundbite, they're putting their hearts on the line. They're literally speaking from their hearts and their hurt, which is the most beautiful thing anybody could ever share with anybody, you know, at the end of the day, let alone a national television show that it was our labor of love, you know, pride.
Yeah, we're seeing some
literal
shots.
pride.
Yes,
that's
that's what it was.
How did this come about? How did you convince the powers that be to give a half an hour to this special, this time? Why this?
So I'm Taurus, I'm very stubborn, and so I kept telling my bosses, and every time, you know how it is, budget. But the fact, in this case, usually I anchor the 10 o'clock. I used to anchor also the 5 o'clock. But I'm like, you know what, let me produce this. So I was trying to get people like Jose that kind of volunteered, because honestly, they never got paid any overtime. And I tried to get key people that were willing to do a story like this. Because we're talking about this. It's so special and so personal. The fact that, like in my case, I didn't feel brave to like come out and tell these kind of stories, because I felt that I was going to be judged. And when I see this, the fact that the new generations, they're going to see that and they're going to feel less weird and less different, and they can see themselves in Spanish, because we need those kind of stories. We need those kind of stories en español, totalmente.
What was the reception?
Oh my God, the day of, my mom tuned in, my aunt tuned in, like a lot of my loved ones tuned in, and they learned a lot about the LGBTQ community that we try to teach, but it's different when it's coming from people that they see every day other than their loved ones, you know. So it was very educational and very loved and very accepting at the end of the day. So I am so thankful to even just be a part of it.
And we're thankful to have you guys here.
Oh my God, thank you. And one little thing also, the fact that we also share the stories of the trans immigrant community. A lot of the times, they're the last ones to be taken part, and they're humans. And the fact that we can share stories like Eddie and so many others that they're just like us. The fact they just wear makeup, which they look freaking amazing, a lot of lashes and stuff, but they're humans. They have to pay rent. They need to hustle. They need to find a life, and the fact that we can tell those stories in Spanish, seriously, it means so much. So,
and at the end of the day, this is my first Emmy. And to have one for this reason, I will forever be thankful.
It's heartfelt.
God is good. I will share this moment. I will remember both of you and Alfonso for the rest of my life. So thank you guys.
And you are good, as clearly the Emmy judges have deemed.
Thank you.
So congratulations to there's a whole team, but we
go.
have Alfonso, we have Jose here,
and Mariana. She was part of the special too.
Talk about this moment really quickly.
I'm so proud of our team, and I'm so proud of him. He's so brave. He's so persistent, and we are all impacted of him. Yeah.
I was always like, go ahead, let's do it. No, Alfonso, I can do like, no, do it. You have to do it.
Yeah.
That's great. To have someone push you like that, it's great.
I know. Yeah. Sometimes they hated me, but I'm like, no, we have to make it work. We have to make it work.
And we did it. We made it.
We have fun.
I don't know, send a daily inspirational morning motivational call. I would
Along
take
with
that.
the Spanish word of the day.
En español lo podemos hacer. Muy bien, me parece bien.
Congratulations,
y'all. Yoga, we've got it all
We
set.
did that in yoga, yeah.
And I'm
so
sorry,
much.
what was your
Congrats.
name, please?
Luigi.
Luigi. Nice to meet you. How old are you?
7.
7. And is this your first time wearing a tux?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Is this your first time looking this good?
I'm so sure, yeah.
Yeah, you're not sure. But this is really awesome.
I'm so sure.
Okay.
Oh.
Got it. Sorry.
Congratulations.
I I
like
don't
it?
know.
El trofeo.
¿Te gusta?
Oh, this one. The Emmy.
He was asking if it was real gold.
Oh, I like
We'll
you.
talk about that later.
I like him. Yeah, we will.
They're already
Yeah.
not in it.
He's already asking good questions, though. You're asking good questions, buddy. Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
There we go.
Thank
Nice
you.
to meet you.
Thank
Can I have 5?
Thank you.
Yeah. I'll be talking to you soon.
Don't celebrate, guys. You guys celebrate. You guys celebrate. Oh, yeah,
I was part of this team, so yes, I was part of the team. I just want to celebrate with them. My name is Hernan Frato, and I was part of this amazing Guadalupe special. And we went there with Indiana, in such a small part of the region, but see the faith of the people, see the faith of everybody was walking over there, talking and telling about Guadalupe was great. So thank you so much for for that beautiful team.
It was special about our Lady of Guadalupe. That was other special too. So
you guys are amazing. Anybody else want to join? I mean,
and I produced both of them. My anchor produced both of them. So
Producers are telling like
rap.
Yeah, sorry.
2 minutes ago, we don't care.
Vámonos, vámonos.
let's go.
Vámonos. Thank you guys. Go celebrate.
Thank
Go
you so much.
celebrate.
Thank
Thank you guys. Go celebrate. 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 Celebrate.
Bye, Luigi.
That's awesome. Oh, you're fine. Thank you. Thank you, friend. Thank you so much. Friend. We got more guests. We got more guests. No, this is what it's
knock
about.
over the table. I'm not standing up because it's glass, and that seems like it would really ruin the show.
This is what
Come
it's about.
on by. Hey!
Come on over.
Team! What is up?
Another
Come on.
one.
Do you want to? I mean,
Can I do the honors for this one?
You
For your
can.
team. This is
You
your
may.
team right here. Come on
I will
over.
let it happen. I had earlier
doing
claimed
well.
the WTTW, but let me tell you, Chicago Story is just so successful. I have to give it up a little bit.
Well, let's talk about it. Informational, instructional, short and long form content. The race to reverse the Chicago River WTTW.
The category sounds a little boring, I have to admit. But I think the skill
story
was
was not.
was
And
right
the
was
skills that it
finding
put
how
to
to make it entertaining. Chicago was famous for reversing the river, and I think that's something that everyone knows, right? You take the architecture tour, everyone knows that the city of Chicago reversed the river, but do you know how?
No.
No one
I know
knows
that that's
how.
above
No
my
one ever
pay
knows
grade.
I was a tour guide and I can't tell you how.
So that's where the what's the informative and instructional part comes in.
Gotcha. How was it? How were you able to do that on television, which is a visual medium? How were you able to put someone to class in that way?
It was, we had such great on-camera interviewees in the archive. We had a tremendous amount of archive that was just, these like historic photos from the early 1900s that were just unbelievable, real treasures that really made the show come to life.
And how did you come about this story? Because like you said, everybody already sort of knows it. Why did you decide that this is a story worth telling, Eddie?
Because the fact that it's 100 and so it was 1900, so we're 124 years, and the further we get away from it, people are gonna, you're gonna forget it. It's gonna be out of the conscious. So, it was 124 years seemed about the right time to bring it back to tell everyone and to inform, that this worldwide phenomenon of reversing a river. I mean, just literally reversing a river is crazy when you think about it.
One thing
Especially more than a century ago that people had.
That they had, which wasn't a lot. I mean, they had like machinery, but they really did it with like hundreds and hundreds of skilled
AI
workers.
was not in the country.
No, it was not. And I can tell you that one thing I do barely remember about tour guiding is the fact that the Army Corps of Engineers had a big role with this, obviously. And at the time, it was a massive feat, the largest of its time. Why is that so important for people to know today? Because that's hugely important, I believe.
I feel like there's many reasons, but like the whole reversal of the Chicago River was because of like the disease. Like, absolutely. And we have people speaking about it in the show. Dr. Allison Arwardi talked about, like cholera and all these waterborne diseases, and they had to do it. It was, a race to reverse it because many Chicagoans were dying, and they had to find a solution to this epidemic, like this problem of waterborne diseases. So it was essential.
Well, again, I encourage everybody. I'm going to do it. Shout out, look at WTTW.com and check out PBS Passport. You too can watch this. And as you said, informational, instructional may sound a little dull, but I promise,
Yeah.
with this team, it is not. Congratulations, my friends.
Congrats.
So happy to see you. You look
Congratulations.
beautiful.
You guys both look
Mwah.
amazing. You both look
Good
stunning.
job. Oh, so
Both
proud
of
of
you.
you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Did we get food?
Yes.
I did.
Food arrived yet?
Yeah.
We're good
We got
this time.
food and we got drinks. So that's
We're
good
going to
news.
bring in a new
Thank you,
guest,
guys.
a new winner.
Thank you both.
Goodbye, my friend.
It's great. I mean,
Better
to see
believe
your cohorts.
he knows. I get hangry.
That's what it is. I think we can all be honest and say that's the case. Our crew as well, who have eaten right before
Which
this.
is why
Come
I
on
was
over
so
here.
excited
Come
when the
on.
food guy came, you know? I live by my pie. Hello. Come on
It
over.
is so nice to meet you in person.
Congratulations.
It is so nice to see you guys.
Yes,
Congratulations.
hello. This is for the interview discussion of short and long form content, and this is Towering Figure. That is a great title for the subject of this, of course, Jeanne Gang, the very famous architect. So congratulations.
Thank
and
you.
tell us about what makes an interview or discussion Emmy worthy.
Yeah.
Oh, and introduce yourself. I'm sorry, please.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm just a producer, not
just
the reporter anchor.
Producers do a lot. We take that just out.
I'm-
Four-letter word that we don't use.
Okay, so I'm Tanya's producer. Octavio works the magic behind the scenes on camera, behind the camera. We decided to interview Jeanne because well, she's a hometown girl. First of all, she's born and raised here, Belvedere, Illinois, but out by Rockford.
We'll take it.
So yeah, Chicago proud. But she's really a global figure, and she has created buildings, designed buildings around the world: Paris, LA, New York, here, and endless cities. She's currently doing a project on the extension of a wing on the Clinton Presidential Library. Wow. I mean, she's really an impressive figure. And it started during Women's History Month last year. I wanted to interview her, and it didn't work out, but it ended up getting pushed back in time to the opening of the St. Regis, which is the tallest building in the world designed by a female architect. And so that was quite impressive. And it's right here in Chicago, and right at the lake and the river. And Tanya came in and did an outstanding job interviewing her.
And we hear some clips right here. We're watching it as well. Tanya, you interview a lot of people. You've interviewed a lot of powerful, impactful women, accomplished women. How is this one different for you?
You know, Jeanne is, first of all, she's incredibly humble. You know, we think of these people who've achieved as much as she has as being, you know, kind of out of reach. But she's exactly the opposite. And it was such an honor to get to speak with her and to get to sit down with her for as long as I did. I love seeing women excel in their fields. I joke that I love women so much I only make them.
That's awesome.
I have 3 daughters.
Oh, that's great. So it's no joke.
3 daughters.
Got
Yeah,
it.
no, for real.
Yeah.
My girls are 5, 12, and 15. So Addie, Lola, and JoJo.
Yeah, I know they're proud of Mom.
Mama
I can
loves
imagine.
you.
Oh.
And you know, I try to teach my girls that they can do and be anything that they want to be. Women comprise less than 1/3 of architects. in the
Less than
industry.
1/3.
Less than 1/3. And so when you have somebody like Jeanne Gang who achieves in the way that she has, it helps me to have hope that the glass ceilings that still exist will be shattered by the time my girls get there.
Wow. She probably creates glass ceilings too.
I was going to say that they're going to be towering and beautiful, and
Well, my girls are taller than I am, so towering they are.
That's great. Congratulations to you all. I mean, this is a huge
It's a pleasure
deal.
to
and
meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet
You
all you.
did
My mom
great.
is a
You
huge
can
fan of
be
yours,
on
by the way.
camera, too.
Thank
You
you.
got the
I love you
skills.
too.
You're great.
Fan of yours.
Before we go,
Congratulations.
I
So
just,
nice to meet
you know,
each of
I this is not, it has my name on it because my name was first on the thing, but this is not mine. This is Megan's, this is Octavio's, this is Casey, our editors, the brilliant people who work to make all of this possible. I just get to ask the questions.
Yeah.
And I'm so fortunate to do so. So, girl, I love you.
Congratulations.
We're witnessing such awesome teamwork here.
It really
and
is.
it really
It's
does take
inspiring.
that. This is such a fun night.
Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of it. Congratulations
Thank
to
you
all
for
of
all
you.
you do.
Thank you so much. Thank,
Thank
you so
you.
much. Thank you.
All
We've
right.
got a lot more
Yes.
people to come
Yes,
and awards
there's
as
a
well.
line.
Stay
it's
right
a good
there.
problem to have.
Yeah, it's a huge problem to have. Yeah, we've got a lot more to come after this.
Talent,
we're gonna
skills, they keep on rolling.
We're gonna take a water
as
break.
do we.
I think we need a water break. I think so. Stay right there. We'll be right back.
We'll be back.
Again, WTTW.
Heck yeah! Woo woo! This is a great night. I got to tell you, I'm having fun, and I'm so proud of WTTW and my friends, colleagues. This is really incredible. This is, again, you might remember Peter from earlier, where this is for the Outstanding Achievement for Documentary Topical, and this is once again for Angels Too Soon, that heartbreaking story of a fire that we are joined by Bianca Lozano. And Bianca, this is personal for you.
Yeah, you know, my father was a survivor of the fire. He was only 10 years old when he had to jump out of a second floor window. And so in the process, he lost more than half of his class and his teacher. So it was just, you know, a topic that I always knew, you know, growing up, but it was something that we didn't really talk about at home just because it was too hard for him to face.
When you see this night culminate in what it has for this piece, what do you think your dad is feeling at this moment right now?
So, you know, I talked to my dad a while ago, and he still has not watched the episode because it is too emotional for him to watch, as he's a part of the episode. But he said from the very beginning, when I told him that we were nominated, he's like, "You're going to win." He's like, you guys got this. So, you know, I mean, it's such an emotional story. And so to bring it to light and to bring, you know, more attention to it, it's very, you know, special.
Did your dad talk with you before agreeing to be interviewed and to be part of the piece? Because as we spoke about earlier, that even in a simple case of asking somebody, you know, we will do what's in the biz, MOS, man on the street interviews. I can be asking somebody, do you prefer deep dish or thin crust pizza? And some people get very nervous, let alone a topic that is this emotional and traumatic. Did you speak with him before he agreed to participate, and what did you share?
So growing up, we never spoke about it at home, you know, ever. It was just one of those things that we just didn't touch or, you know, bring up. But when I joined the show and I knew that, you know, I wanted him to be a part of it, you know, I had a conversation and I said, are you open to, you know, to talking more about it? And, you know, he was. It took a while. It was like a very emotional journey for both of us, but it was also very healing for us as well. So I didn't find out his details about what he went through until I did the pre-interview with him.
Wow.
This video is, I mean, we can't even hear it, and it's speaking so loudly. It's so powerful. Can you, look, this is a team effort. I want you to introduce yourself and talk about your role in this as well.
Sure. I'm Melissa Stern. I edited the film. And what Peter and I talked about a lot, and what Bianca helped us with so much, is how to both, you really want the emotion to come through, and at the same time you want to honor the experience of the people and not sensationalize it. It's a very sensational
And it's a thin line to do that.
It's very hard, and so it's like towing that line of having people feel the emotion and honoring their experience and not sensationalizing it. And it took a lot of work.
As an editor, too, you were having to see these really terrifying scenes play out continuously.
Right.
How do you manage that both professionally and frankly personally?
Right. It's complicated. And I think we talked about that a lot as a team, of how to deal with watching the footage over and over. And one thing I really appreciated a lot about working with Peter is he had so many ideas about how to creatively show this complicated experience. And every time we'd come up with an idea, then Bianca would be like, oh, I can find that footage. Yeah. And so it was just like, it was really such a pleasure to work with like this particular team on this film and bring these really impactful and such emotional stories to the screen.
Well, look, we're happy that you're here to share this with us, all of you, and thank your father as well, because that helps tell the story and share this story. I'm from Chicago, I never knew about this, right? And so these stories are powerful and impactful in so many ways. So congratulations to you guys. I know it's tough, but congratulations.
Congrats to all
Thank
of you
you.
and give our best to your dad.
Thank you. We've got more interviewees. We'll let you guys celebrate.
You're done with us. You can relax now.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Yeah, enjoy it. Thank you guys. We've got more winners, it looks like. And by the way, this night is moving really quickly too for us.
Yes.
This night is moving
We're
really
having a
quickly.
blast.
I think we're going to take a quick break. We're going to take a quick break for a moment, and then we will be right back.
And we're clear.
Perfect. Thank you. Welcome back, everybody. We got another winner on the couch. This is good. Lena Martino. Okay, so let's talk about this. Outstanding achievement for sports, live sporting event game, and this is for the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah, we wanted to take fans back to the 1990s, and we started with an awesome video put together by our team, and then Chris Chelios came out in a car, and we gave him this big welcome back ceremony, and sprinkled little elements throughout the game, and it was truly a team effort between the United Center and Chicago Blackhawks.
You keep looking at it. Is it real yet?
It's definitely not. I didn't expect it, so I wasn't really prepared with a speech or anything, so I'm really embarrassed about that.
No, it's okay.
People might not realize, if you haven't attended this, we're sort of the easy fun part at the end.
Right.
You get your award. You're supposed to get up on stage in front of a bunch of your peers and like top pros and honchos of the television industry throughout the Midwest and give a speech. So what did you say, Nina?
I just thanked my team. Like it was truly a team effort. Everybody had played a role. Every department in the organization, every department in the United Center. It was truly just to bring it all together.
I'm looking at the screen. We just saw some fun 90s footage.
I mean,
it really
that was
did
cool.
take me back.
That was our goal.
Oh,
Success, even in that brief little bit.
that brief little bit. Congratulations,
Thank you.
and to you and the team as well.
Thank you. Thank
Congratulations.
you so much.
Congratulations.
Bye, Nina. Great to meet you. Celebrate.
Yeah, celebrate. We got a lot of people celebrating tonight, too.
Yes, we do.
Come on over. We got some more? Come on down. Come on over, y'all. We're live. We're hot.
Hey!
Come on.
You can
Yes,
just
come on
squeeze
over.
on in.
Squeeze on
Hang
in when
out.
you fit in.
Yes, we can make this
Yes,
happen.
please.
These couches hold more than they look.
I know. Welcome. Did you guys get a card? If not, don't worry about it. We'll wait.
Let's just go ahead. Oh, no, that's not you. You know what? It's cool. It's
There
cool.
it is.
Here we go. So this is for live.
Yeah.
This is just what happens.
We love it. Live TV.
This is outstanding achievement for a live sports program, and I'm just going to go ahead and introduce yourselves.
I'm Mike Norman from Marquee Sports Network. I'm our producer over there.
Elise Menaker, On Air Talent.
I'm Malik Ndile, executive producer.
Wow.
And so, if Marquee Sports Network, we know this. This is for the Cubs. Tell me a little bit about what you decide to put in an Emmy entry that gets across just every day, what frankly for many, many months is live action, constantly.
Yeah, I mean, look, people come to us for a release, right?
Yeah.
We're sports. There's a lot of people out here doing really important work, whether it's news, investigative journalism, weather, things that really matter. They come to us to laugh and have fun and be entertained. So that's exactly what our tape reflected, and that's exactly what we reflect every day on a daily basis. So we just want people to come to Marquee Sports Network and know that when they're or whether they're watching us online, our app, whatever, once they're part of our community, that they're going to have fun.
Take us to the dugout if you can for a second, to use a phrase. We're seeing Cubs here. This is so important, but we're seeing the reaction. We're seeing the fans. We're seeing the other team as well. I mean, that's a huge part in this. Am I right about that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look, we can't control the games. It's our job to cover the game, right? So, but when fun and big things happen like that, we want to make sure we're portraying that, whether it's in the game, before the game, or after the game.
Really making people at home who aren't there on the ground feel it along with you?
Yeah, I think that's like a important part, at least, that I try to bring out in my job, is making people feel like they're experiencing the moment and they're a part of all of it, that we're not just telling things and speaking at people, but we're really making them a part of the event, and hopefully that they can feel the excitement, the energy, whatever it is that's happening at the ballpark that day, that we can bring that home to viewers.
And what does it mean to have an Emmy to kind of be the capstone to that work?
Well, really, the big thing and what's awesome about this is we get to celebrate this with our crew. We have one of the best crews around. It's really great that we get to spend so much time working games together because we kind of grow into a family. And to be able to win this and be able to share that with them, this is for everybody. And this is a really great moment that we get to share with everybody.
End of the season, you're going to recuperate, get ready to do it all again, huh?
Yeah, we're going to do it again. The only thing that sucks is that this does not equal pay raises. So enjoy it while it
Maybe
lasts.
they're
Look at
watching,
it. Don't even
you
look at me
never
like I'm crazy. All right?
Somebody can anonymously send a clip.
Somebody can anonymously send
It's documented right now.
Thank you,
The
guys.
ask is
Thank
in.
you, guys. Congratulations, y'all.
Congratulations. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, guys. We've got more
Bye.
guests.
It was a pleasure.
We've got more guests, no raises, but more guests to come. Let's talk about it. You guys come on down. We're live. This is so much fun. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hello. Hey, this is great stuff. We were just talking about the Cubs. Let's stick with the sports. We got Outstanding Achievement for Sports One-Time Special. We've got Matt Romito and Pat Gastel. Yep. Come on now. Pat, welcome and congratulations.
Thank you.
Talk about this. Talk about this win for you guys.
Yeah, this is a project that we were looking for a way to induct two of our Cubs legends, Aramis Ramirez and Kerry Wood, and we solicited the help of their two sons to induct them essentially and read off like what made them so special and why Cubs fans love them. And I think it was very heartfelt, and I think it really resonated with our Cubs fans. It was a tight process as far as production. We had to interview these kids. One of the kids we had to interview in a car because their dad was waiting outside, and we didn't want to spoil the surprise of him being inducted into the Hall of Fame. So the project was...
Sometimes things can go wrong.
Exactly, but it worked out for us, and I'm glad that the project turned out and that we're here and we're celebrating it.
The little cheat sheet that we have, I love this. It says, we call them heroes, they call them dad. Where did the inspiration for this come from, and what was the reception for Kerry and Aramis?
Yeah, I mean, the players, the guys, they loved it. I mean, I think anytime it's kind of like
cry?
It's a little bit of a cheat when you get their kids involved,
Well,
right?
yeah.
Like,
So were there tears? Were there tears?
Yeah, there were some
Yeah,
tears.
we filmed it backstage. They were getting pretty emotional during the actual.
Yeah, and shout out to Colin Faulkner, the head of our department, who just had an idea that he shared with us, and Pat really deserves all the credit for bringing it to life. And amongst this amazing group of creatives we have here, who among us has not recorded VO in the car for an award-winning project? So, it really just binds us all.
There's a first time for everything.
Cars are great for sound,
Yeah,
actually.
absolutely.
They're pretty soundproof. Talking to kids can be difficult, though. So any tricks to having them open up? I guess this is an easy subject, talking about your father.
Yeah, I have to thank Adam Sobel, who took a huge lead on this project, and he's really good at making kids feel comfortable, and he did a great job of just coaching him through this. And I think it turned out really well. So thanks to Adam, and also special thanks to Corey Surratt, Shane English, Kelly King, who also did a great job on this project.
That's huge. You guys, congratulations. This is awesome to see.
It's sort of
this.
like a Hall of Fame award winning an Emmy, right?
I
A
mean-
little bit, not quite is a lifetime
close.
achievement, but
Right.
you know, it's up there. It helps when you want to put in for one. So congratulations. Good to see
Yeah,
you
it does.
again.
Thank you so much again.
Nice to meet
And
you.
thank you and
Bye.
congratulations.
And
Congratulations.
that's for me. Yeah.
the drink. This is cool. I mean, it just lifted off the page when you saw it. They called him Dad.
It's so awesome.
That's really, really great.
It is. You don't think about the people that you see. You know, maybe frankly in our business on the TV screen
come on over,
as
guys.
having family members, having parents, children, and it all goes into it. Same too for athletes.
That's
and what
huge.
an interesting project.
We've
all
got
right.
2 cards. This is huge.
Okay.
Here
Well,
we
and
go.
this is Fighting Irish Media.
Come on, South
I'm going
Bend,
to let our
Indiana.
South Bend guy take the lead.
Come on.
buddy.
So you guys are located right down the street from where I work, WNDU TV, and you guys literally, like WTTW every year, sweep everything. So with that, talk about your name first off, and we'll talk about what this is about. But let's start with that.
Yeah, my name's John Asher, Fighting
And-
Irish Media.
And what do you do?
Oh, I look over our feature content department.
I'm Greg Camelone, and I am one of the feature producers that John oversees.
I'm Robert Campbell. I'm a cinematographer.
Ooh, cinematographer.
So you're with your boss. Anything that you want to say?
Well, no, I said it in my speech
Captive
earlier,
audience.
but
No, you said it, yeah.
ever since I joined Fighting Irish Media, he's been a great mentor for me, and we have our one-to-one meetings weekly, and he always finds a way to challenge me and to help me grow, so I'm really appreciative of that.
Well, let's talk about. We got 2 different ones here. So
Yes, we do.
the first one is Outstanding Achievement for Sports Story Short Form Content. And this is for, and I want to say this, Luke Utley's story. I got that correct? Tell us about that.
Yeah, so Luke Utley was a swimmer on our swim team. We actually brought him in just to do like a 1-minute story, just to learn about why he chose Notre Dame. We found out this story in that, and basically his mom unfortunately passed away from a rare disease, and through that he found, turned straight to swimming to figure out, to grieve in that way. And it's just a touching story. He accomplishes a ton of stuff, after that, and it was just truly an honor to work with him.
A story within the story.
Yeah, absolutely.
And seizing a story when you recognize it, that's one of the skills that goes into being able to submit something that is Emmy worthy. Now, you are here for Outstanding Achievement for a Sports Program, post-produced or edited, and this is called Irish Intel, and you've talked to Notre Dame student athletes. What is the objective here? I will say, looking back to my college days, I had more than enough to manage that I have such respect for student athletes.
Yeah, so with this series, we really try to find the alternative angle or story that you might not see within a broadcast. So we look at these outstanding performances, but what really was the meaning behind that performance. So we really got to tell a lot of incredible stories. One that sticks out is a cross-country runner who won the ACC championship, and he basically won on the last stretch, and he talks about how his dad was there screaming and running it with him from the side. So you may not know that right off the bat watching it on TV, but hearing his perspective and how much it meant for his dad to be right there with him, it was really cool. So
How much it meant to his dad, I'm sure as well. The cinematic experience, right there. This is like watching a movie.
Yeah, we're very blessed to be able to work with a lot of other talented photographers and videographers and cinematographers, Fighting Irish Media, and it's just honestly a big collaboration between a lot of like-mindeds with film, but also growing a lot of technology that's ever changing. We challenge each other a lot on sets. For Luke's story, literally we went down underwater, and they're like, okay, a couple more minutes under the water, and so there was a lot of the underwater photography for that, which was really cool, off of diving boards. And we really kind of pushed the limit, but I think a lot of it is it aids in the story, right? It's a very impactful story, and so the cinematography needs to kind of meet that, that mark. So. Yeah.
Congratulations to each of you.
Seriously.
I've got a lot of homework, I got to tell you. I want to go home and watch all of these.
I know.
You
Fighting Irish Media, they do such a unique job of telling the story. You think it's just about sports, and then you look deeper, and there's always something that's deeper in all the stories that you tell. So congratulations. This is awesome.
Way to go, team.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. We got to take a break.
Yeah, we do.
We got to take a break. I'm ready for a drink with extra lime. Amanda and I will be back, but we've had a great time so far. I don't even know how many hours we've been here. It's just flying by.
It really is.
It is. We'll be right back. See you there.
sure we were.
All American.
And we are back. This is really cool. I am sure that everybody has seen or watched some Rockford Peaches lore, but there actually is a true Illinois origin, and we are here with a team that has won an Emmy talking about ladies playing baseball. So let's start this off. Reagan.
Yes, I'm Reagan. I'm the producer, director, helped as an editor.
Wow.
What? Give us the name of this.
So
This is
the
Field
name
of
is
Dreams.
Field of Dreams, All-American Girls Professional Baseball League 80th reunion.
Say that again. I didn't hear.
It's a little long.
But 80 years ago, you had women on the field. It was really probably a dream at that time.
Yeah, I mean, it was incredible to just get to meet those women, all of those women that I looked up to, and to not only meet them, but also get to tell their story, their life story, and to see how much they're still advocating for women's baseball, because we don't have it anymore. It's been, 80 years, and we still don't have women's baseball. And so they're still fighting for it, and it's cool to see that they're still doing it.
Let's meet the rest of the team before we move on. Go ahead and introduce yourselves and share the role that you played.
I'm Portia Danis. I was the audio engineer and editor.
I'm Jason. I was one of the cinematographers.
I'm Jake. I was one of the producers on the piece.
I'm Blaze, and I was one of the cinematographers on the piece, too.
It takes a team to make this all work. Let's talk about that team effort, about a team game. When your name was called, when your category was called, the jitters, right? And then you find out you win. What went through your mind in that moment? I can imagine a lot.
It was so exciting. I was really thinking about the women, right? The women who paved the way for women everywhere. Honestly, 80 years ago, they were 19, 20 years old, playing in a male-dominated field, putting themselves out there. It's really cool.
And there are not that many people who are able to even share this story still today. Sure, you can watch a league of their own, but it's a different thing to hear from players who took to the field and I'm guessing maybe had some daring stories to tell about making that choice.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't easy. There's a lot of women who had never done this before in a professional league. They're playing at the Cubs Stadium. It was a lot of pressure, but they didn't realize it because they were just there to play baseball. And unfortunately, many of them have passed. And there's only 11 known players left here with us. And to get to meet them and get to interview them was just incredible.
Why tell this story now?
Yeah.
What was that?
Why tell this story now?
I think it's still relevant. It's still a relevant story, and its history of women's sports is incredible. I mean, they paved the way. Tell the story before, it's too late. These women, a lot of them, we talked to them, and they were like, we don't really get the chance to tell our story. And if we're going to do it, we're going to do it now. So, one of the women that we interviewed passed, Dr. Sister Tony. She's a nun, a doctorate, and a professional baseball player.
What?
And was incredible.
That is talk about accomplishments. Notches in the belt, and wow.
She was one of the sweetest
and now part
people.
of an Emmy team in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, I do, dedicate it to her. She was incredible to work with and was so caring and loving, and I believe she said something along the lines of, I wanted to tell my story so badly because I know I don't have much time left. And so I feel very grateful that we got to do that.
Wow. It's one of those stories that just gives you chills a little bit when you hear about it and the history about it and the people who are sharing the story, because they don't want that history to get lost.
As a mother of a daughter and thinking about how much girls have to fight for that chance still today, but how much they did particularly 80 years ago when it was.
I mean, I wouldn't be here, being able to accept this on a stage. Yeah. And of course the women would never take that kind of credit, but
you deserve it and you own it, right?
It's they paved the way to let us be able to go on the stage and accept awards and host events, and I mean, it's incredible.
It's huge, and it feels good, I can imagine.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Well, congratulations to each of you. We
Congratulations.
appreciate your sharing the story with the audience and then your story with us here tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Go celebrate. Don't get off the couch. You guys celebrate. Thank you guys.
Pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We hear so many of these stories all the time. Thank you so much. And you look great, by the way. I just got to, come on now. Thank you. We hear so many of these stories. I think it's important to bring home the fact that people at home can relate to them. They may not watch news often, they may not watch documentaries often, but when you see something like that, you can relate to it, and it's big time.
Like I said, we've all seen A League of Their Own, but I'm not sure people really recognize that there's a true story behind it. Josh, I want to bring this now to another remarkable woman. We are, I think, going to be watching a tribute video to someone that I actually met here at the Emmys, and having the opportunity to meet these incredible award-winning journalists, producers, sound engineers, audio experts, writers, has been through Lee Hood, who unfortunately passed away. So we want to take an opportunity now to bring it down a notch and pay tribute to Lee and all that she did for so many journalists, many of whom are working in Chicago and around the Midwest today.
We in the School of Communication at Loyola University Chicago mourn with the NATAS the passing of Dr. Lee Hood. Dr. Hood was an outstanding teacher, scholar, and the very best colleague. Her legacy will live on through the lives of her students and colleagues that she has inspired. Having known Dr. Hood for 5 years, I will miss my friend, my cheerleader, and someone who I consider to be a role model. She made everyone in the School of Communication feel welcomed, and our work will not be the same without her.
Well, I regret Lee is no longer here with us. I'll miss my colleague. I'll always remember her energy, her enthusiasm, and how much she really cared about her students and really taught them to be excellent professionals in their field.
Join the NATAS Chicago Midwest chapter to help students studying broadcast journalism and production. Your tax-deductible donation to our Scholarship Foundation helps students get the necessary education to join our ranks. For information, go to chicagoemmy.org.
We are back, but you may have noticed that Joshua is not on the couch because hopefully he is earning his own Emmy right now. So, Chloe, go ahead and introduce yourself, please.
Hey, everybody. I'm Chloe Morrissey. I was here last year for a little bit. I was filling in. Some of you might remember when I looked in the camera and said, "Hire me." Now we're back. We're officially
Magic.
hired.
It worked.
It worked.
Not
It
magic.
worked.
Also a lot of hard work.
Yes, that is true. I'm up in Madison, Wisconsin now. I work for WKOW 27 News, so it's awesome to be back.
And Lee was one of your
Yes,
teachers.
she was. Yes, I am a Loyola Rambler at heart, and watching that back, seeing Professor Hood, I mean, what an incredible woman and mentor, professor. I mean,
I know. She really was remarkable. Had passed on story ideas, tips, was great to sort of riff with. And so our love and condolences to her family. And I know that she really put a lot of heart into this particular program. So we're going to get back to it, Chloe, and bring on board the next winner. Hey, thanks for joining us. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All right, so this is for the Outstanding Achievement for Sports News and Sportscast, Dario Melendez. Congratulations. This is for Ash to Smash.
Yeah, it was
What is that?
It's such a fun story. Obviously, we all have ash trees here in the Midwest, and they're going the way of the dodo bird because of the emerald ash borer. And there's this father and son who take dead ash trees and turn them into baseball bats. And his son last summer wanted to kind of do what his dad does, but he also wanted to enter his bat into the county fair. So it was a 3-month story chronicling the picking of a tree, shaping it, letting it humidify, and then entering it into the county fair. It was awesome. Like, it was such a fun story to do.
What a brilliant story. Did he win? Come on. In case we can't watch this, I want to know. Spoil.
He lost last year, but then he re-entered this year and won.
What did he enter?
So it's the wood bat, or like the wood sculpting, wood carving division.
Of course there is. Let me tell. I did a story once on a state fair. The number of contest entries, it's remarkable.
And he's
the number of talent.
Yeah, and he's 14, so he was going against adults that have been doing this forever, and he kind of got the itch last summer, and we followed him through that journey, and he didn't get it, but this year he did. So it's a win-win for everybody.
There we go. And now you've got an Emmy.
We got it. Yeah, exactly.
I love this notion of turning sort of lemons into lemonade with ash borers, which it is terrible for the environment, and then doing something good with it.
Yeah, when we talked to the DNR, they said tens of millions of ash trees have died because of the emerald ash borer. So the fact that this father and son duo are taking such a bad situation and making it into an awesome situation is really cool.
Any PSAs that you can share with us in terms of people that are hearing, oh gosh, ecological disaster a little bit?
Either get them treated, you can get them serviced every 2 years and they'll stay alive, or just cut them down. And call the Lenz brothers, Lenz Batting, and they'll turn into a baseball bat.
So this is a business now.
Oh, yeah, it's a business. So the father started the business a couple of years ago because he had all these ash trees in his backyard. And last summer, his son was like, you know what, I want to try to do this.
More than just a hobby, this is...
The oldest story in time, a father's passing his craft off to his son. So very cool.
And congratulations.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, right, exactly. I appreciate it.
Anything else that you want to share in terms of just the story?
No, it was such a fun thing to do. Thank you to Aaron and August for letting us do it. And I just wish my photographer, who's also our number 3 reporter, was here, but someone has to anchor back home right now.
Someone's got to. So
right?
Shout out to
Jared Fialco.
Shout out to Jared. And by the way, this is with Bally Sports Wisconsin.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Appreciate
Congrats. Gonna have to get ourselves one of those bats.
I know.
I don't even play baseball, but
Me
it's just
either.
cool.
Maybe we'll pick it up.
Yeah, there we go. After we had 2 baseball stories in a row, right?
Wow.
You know, I mean, so we had the folks from the All-American Girls Baseball League, and I bet that'd be a good Christmas gift, perhaps.
Yes.
The holidays are coming up. All right, do you want to begin here with this one, Chloe? How about you do the honors?
Hello, WBAY. You're up in Green Bay. I'm in Madison. How are you?
Kind of shocked. This was my first nomination, my first win, obviously.
Yes.
And I kind of wasn't expecting it given the category of people I was up against, but I'm glad that the work I
Came
did
out a
was,
winner.
yeah, I came out a winner.
Absolutely. Can you tell us a little bit about, what inspired you to tell this story?
Well, the format of our show is, we like to tell longer form stories. It's instead of just a newscast where it's, short little segments, we have big, long 3 to 5 minute segments where we like to tell big, long stories about people, events. And, this was such a unique event coming up, and we found out, 2 veterans from our area were going to Normandy as part of this trip. And we were like, we have to tell this story, and we have to make it an entire half-hour-long special. And, it was just, and obviously, the average age of all the veterans going is over 100. And so, we don't have a lot of time to tell those stories. And it was remarkable to be able to find 2 people just in Northeast Wisconsin who we could share their story.
That's incredible.
And you are, by the way, Joe Horning. Am I pronouncing your name correctly? And so the producer. There's a skill before we even get to the part of the production, but finding veterans, let alone those who have a compelling story and voice. Can you share that early stage of the journey?
It's, I have to give a lot of credit to my anchor, Chris Roth. Our entire show is like a symbiotic relationship between him and I. We'll work in tandem on everything, and we both work to try to find these veterans, and thankfully one of them he just happened to learn oh, hey, there's a veteran here, and they happen to be coming down next Tuesday, or the person's niece, if I remember correctly, was bringing him down to come to some physical therapy, and we brought him by the studio on a date on an hour's notice, and it was wonderful. And to be able to find those people as well as our other interview subjects for this special was remarkable, and it's kind of just a testament to the hard work that him and I put into this show.
Absolutely. And I mean, like you were saying, a lot of these veterans are getting up in age, so them telling their stories, but knowing that you're there to document it. These stories are going to live on for the end of time. I mean, how does that feel to you, knowing that you were pretty much cherishing these people's stories?
Honestly feels wonderful, just because, I have World War II veterans in my own family, and obviously, they're dwindling by the year, and it's just remarkable to hear their side of the story, because Jack Kraszewski, one of the men we interviewed, the interview went about 50 minutes, and honestly, we could have put the whole thing in. He had some remarkable things to say. So did Vaughn. Them talking about their experiences, both before the war, during the D-Day operation, after the war, what happened afterward. Them being recruited for this trip. It was just remarkable to hear those stories, and being able to share that with our viewers, I honestly don't have words. I feel honored to tell that story.
At a time of such a fractured country, going back to a time when America really was able to come together, heroism of that. Thank you so much for sharing your story, and congratulations on your very first Emmy there, Joe. It's incredible. We're going to bring in our next guest and let you enjoy and cherish that hardware. Come on over. Chloe, I have to say that I was speaking with someone earlier about it is really huge to be nominated, because there's so many entries for many of these, let alone, of course, winning. So let's meet. All right, we've got Weatherwise from WREX, Alex Kirshner. Nice to be with you, Alex. Congratulations. This is for Achievement for News Gathering, Weather, Environment, and Science. Weather, of course, people care about that. That's half the reason they turn into the news, I will admit it. But it's more important than just what to wear.
Oh, exactly. This segment is debuts every week. It's about a minute, and it gives me a chance to kind of show off some expertise and say, hey, what's the one thing you've been kind of wondering about this week or this month, or something interesting has gone on recently? I've got the time to explain it. It's not just trying to squeeze that in, because there's only a limited amount of time in a newscast. I get an extra little opportunity to really let this breathe and talk about how much do clouds weigh, or did you hear about this jet plane that was flying faster than the speed of sound? Like the little interesting stuff like that. How
much do clouds weigh?
Weighs over a pickup truck. So imagine like a pickup truck floating through the sky, but it's spread out so much that it's able to stay afloat.
Yikes! I don't know if I like that answer. That sounds I guess a cloud doesn't drop like a pickup truck, but It can feel like that when it's pouring.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. You think about all that weight of the rain coming down, it can kind of feel like that, but thankfully it's spread out enough where it's not just one pickup truck falling on, a street or your house or anything like that. It was a little disturbing researching that and finding out oh, wow, it weighs that much. Okay.
Are these questions that you come up with yourself or that viewers write in, and have they stunned you by some of the questions that maybe never even occurred to somebody who's been forecasting, studied weather, atmospheric sciences?
So more often than not, it's myself coming up with them, but on occasion there is a viewer or a loved one or a friend that just said, hey, I'm kind of wondering about this. And so then I get a chance to explore and talk about it then as a result. So every so often I get, a viewer question that's just like, oh, I didn't even think of that. Okay, let's dive into this a little bit more.
I feel like that's so important, though. I mean, working in news, I feel like sometimes we can get so caught up in the jargon. Like, we'll say something and think that everybody knows what we're talking about, and then you kind of take a step back and it's like, does anyone actually understand what I'm saying? So I feel like what you did with this is so important, to be able to explain this and for the viewers to learn, a little bit more in depth about a subject that you obviously know quite a bit about.
Sort of an expert too, because nowadays there's just so much information and misinformation out there. So it's a chance to say, let's get it from a trusted source. Let's get it from someone that has done the research and has looked into the science and not just throwing something out there for clicks and likes and all that. Yeah.
Right here. So you heard it here. Write in with your questions, with your weather wonders. We've got a wise man who can figure it all out.
Get 'em
Congratulations
answered.
on your Emmy.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. All right, and I think we're going to keep this going, Chloe.
I love it. I'm
I'm having a good time with you.
know.
I am very excited about who's going to join. I'm going to get up, hopefully not knock over the table. Congrats. Hello. The one, the only, Erica Gunderson. What did you win for, my friend?
For Galloping Ghost Arcade.
Okay.
Yes.
This was a wonderful piece
I'm
about
supposed to give that
literally an arcade in Brookfield, am I correct?
Brookfield, Illinois. Beautiful Brookfield, Illinois. Yes.
Okay, and this is for Outstanding Achievement for News Gathering in Arts and Entertainment. Everybody, Erica worked with at WTTW Chicago tonight, and a storyteller who has humor, who has wit, and who is able to find a story. It's really incredible. Erica, tell us about how you heard about Galloping Ghosts.
Okay, well, first you have to know that I'm a big dork. That's like the most important thing off the top. So anything that is nerdy or dorky or geeky, it will find its way to me. I think I was actually just talking to a friend about it, and they were a big fan of arcade games, and I am all thumbs, but not in a good way. So like it doesn't work for me. But I was really like I grew up in the 80s and 90s when the arcades were still a thing, and like that was a whole culture. And so I was so excited that the world's largest arcade was in the Chicago area. So it just seemed like a fun story to do. And talking to like people who are also dorky and nerdy feels very at home for me.
And it wasn't just, as I recall, it's been a while since I watched this piece, but it wasn't just interviews and videography. You worked in a little bit of fun.
Oh my gosh. So Damon Ranger, who is an amazing shooter and has this incredible, look at this is so cool. The graphics were awesome. Our graphics department did such a great job. Reed was really excited to get this project, and I was really excited to give him something fun to do. And Damon has an eye for things and just a sense for things. He shot a lot of it, he edited it, and he did such an amazing job.
I'm having such a fun time looking back at that. Reed, by the way, does graphics and arts and is the pro at WTTW Chicago Night for all of that. Erica, it is so good to see you.
You too. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. You look stunning. You are fabulous. I wish we could hang out longer. We'll have to get on like one of our actual couches instead of whose ever this is. But I am so excited for you, and I'm going to toast to you, my friend. Congrats. Enjoy.
Congratulations. I love that.
And come on.
So
she is amazing. Let me just continue as our next guest comes out. I'm going to brag about Erica Gunderson. She is fabulous. She is talented. She is smart. Let me tell you, she could have entered in any category and given it a clean sweep. She is incredible. But there's a lot of incredible people here.
Yes.
So next is Outstanding Achievement for News Gathering, and this is near and dear to my heart, politics and government. We have a WTMJ reporter, so out of Milwaukee there, Jenna Ray, congratulations. Or also Lawrence Evans, photographer.
Yes, all my photographers doing their job, actually.
Look at that.
Look at that. They're shooting this interview right now, yes.
That is commitment to the
100%.
I love it.
So this is a composite of several stories. Can you share what you included in this entry that really resonated with the judges?
Sure. So for the last year, we've been exposing the conditions, the living conditions inside the housing authority. It's public housing in the city of Milwaukee. Residents have been reaching out to us and a local nonprofit group called Common Ground that has been working with them. They have cockroaches, bed bugs, black mold, deplorable living conditions that they've been dealing with. And we've been trying to get answers from the local government and from HUD, who is the federal government that is over the housing authority for a year now. And it's a composite of us trying to get answers and get these residents the desperate help that they need.
Yeah, I admit I don't live in Milwaukee. Haven't unfortunately had an opportunity to view this. Have we seen it work? Has there been attention? Cockroaches, bed bugs alleviated?
There are lawsuits that have been filed, and so now some of the units and housing complexes are having to clean up. The housing authority is actually having to hire people to come in and do some of this work. We've seen HUD make several times to come in and have to do, corrective action plans and things like that. They're working with the federal government consistently, but we still don't have all of the answers that we need. It's an ongoing battle, something that we're still working on every single day. I'm one of our investigative reporters, and this has been a story, again, that we've been working on for the last year, and that is still going.
That is so, inspiring and important. I feel like that's such a big part of what we do. Obviously, you get recognized for it today. And like you said, there's been work, but there's still more to be done. What inspired you originally to want to put this together over a year? That's such a big, important issue.
Mm-hmm. I think just in general, investigative reporting and holding people accountable is what we need to be doing, especially in this day of media. I think it's incredibly important to continue asking politicians and public officials for answers. I think that if we're paying tax dollars to these people, we should be holding them accountable. And for people who have tried to speak up, that have been sidestepped or can't do it themselves, I think we are the voice that they need to be able to get things done.
A voice for the
voiceless.
voiceless.
Like this brings greater voice to it. Well, congratulations again. That is Jenna Ray of WTMJ, and this to me is really a big award. So congratulations. That's for news gathering in politics and government. And keep people posted. We'll be watching. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you.
Thank
I love this dress, by the way, too. That is incredible.
Yes, you look lovely. All right, we're going to bring in the next awardee. I don't know who this is, but bye.
Thank you.
And bye to all the photogs out there who are really
They can't stop.
That's
Photogs
dedication.
never
That's
stop.
friendship.
Can I bring Ashley on?
Oh my! Yeah, come on over. Yes.
Yes.
Chloe.
Yes.
Chloe, I'm
Hi.
Ben. Nice to meet
I'm
you.
nice to
Me
meet
and
you.
Amanda used to work together. Not together. I say together.
Yeah,
It was my
not
first
the
job
same
in Springfield,
station,
Illinois.
but in the
Oh my
same,
gosh.
in the
City.
same city.
And
I love it.
We went tailgated together, and the rest is history.
Yes, we had a tailgate. Yes, we did. There were small rats involved. Totally normal and fine.
Love it.
Yeah. So wait, what are you here for?
Okay,
I don't know. All right.
have you ever had
Lifestyle.
a Curder burger?
No.
A Curder
Do you know
burger.
what
I
a
don't
Curder
think
burger
Culver
is?
Yes.
says big donut.
Okay, this
See,
is...
I work up in Wisconsin now, so I am, getting used to all of this.
Okay.
And so I've seen the Curder burger.
Okay,
It's
the Curder-
overwhelming, actually.
The Curder burger, my whole story was, this started as an April Fool's joke that Culver's, the fast food chain, put on April Fool's, we've invented the Curder burger, which was literally just a giant fried cheese curd in between two buns.
It's like a whole patty.
And literally the internet went insane.
I
and
missed this.
and Culver said, oh my gosh, maybe, actually there was one guy at the company, the guy who makes things at Culver's, was like, I think I can actually make a real Curder burger.
This
And
isn't
so-
funny. Don't mess around with my cheese.
So he started a secret project in his test kitchen, didn't tell anyone at the company that he was going to, because it was just supposed to be an April Fool's joke.
Okay.
And literally everyone's like, make the Curder burger, make the Curder burger.
Yeah, obviously.
So he went into the test kitchen and was like, I think I can actually make this and actually work under Culver standards and it could be like a thing. And he made the real life Curder burger, which ended up being a smaller version that was the joke on top of a butter burger. It's still gonna make you go to the bathroom right away, but it's so
You gotta
Ashley's
love
had
it.
it.
Yeah,
I was going to say, have you had it?
Yes, I had it. It's delicious. But, you think of these stories, journalism is not dead, right?
No.
These are the stories people want. People demand answers.
I have an Emmy winner. People be like, why? Because of a fast food hamburger.
Is the Curter Burger still on the menu?
So it's a limited item, much like a pumpkin.
But it comes around this time of year.
Every October.
Yeah. Because I just had a Facebook memory to my first time eating it.
So you too, thanks to this Emmy Award-winning news gathering, could try and have your chance.
But this was fun because me and Ashley are married, and she was nominated tonight, and I was nominated.
What were you nominated for? Or have you? Maybe
I lost. It was in the health category. I've been nominated, I think, 11 times, and have lost 11 times. So I live vicariously. He's always like, "Come along with me." Yeah. So
just come out here and like look.
Yeah,
nice,
I love.
I
mean, this is it's yes.
Your colleagues who do this.
Yes.
And like all these,
the investigative ones.
I kind of love this dynamic though that you're nominated for the health category, and then over here we have a story about a Curter burger.
Real journalism, and I did a hamburger. Yeah.
No, it's like our relationship. I'm the boring one, and he has a lot of the fun. He's the extrovert.
I will say though, and I'm not just saying this, Ashley, that we were saying just a bit ago that to be nominated in so many of these categories and up against the level of talent is huge. And winning, of course, is so meaningful, but also to be nominated is a huge
especially in
win.
This region.
It's significant.
You guys know this. There are just so many good journalists.
The competition
in
is
Chicago,
fierce.
Wisconsin, South Bend, Rockford had a win tonight. I mean, there are just so many talented people in the room, so it's fun to come out, whether you win or lose.
Well, and you both are among them. So,
and
the only reason we come is to see Amanda.
Yeah, we can take Amanda afterwards. So, everybody, at the Palm after, we're going to continue this combo, and I'm going to definitely have to try a Curter burger. Okay. I even like the name. It's fun to say Curter burger.
It sounds disgusting.
You know what else they had too?
What?
Did you try this? Because this has been bugging me. I missed it this year. The hot honey cheese curds.
Oh yeah, that was new.
Did you try those?
No. I don't know.
I missed it. I missed it.
Story idea.
Yes. We'll see you back next year.
Here it comes. Next year.
Culver's is gonna love you.
All
right, next guest. Congratulations. Oh wow, we do. They're like this program is getting more and more fun.
I love
it keeps
it.
on getting
I love
great
it.
and great and
nice
not
to meet
greater,
you.
mind you.
Nice meeting you. All right.
Mwah.
Bye.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi, my friend.
How you doing?
Congratulations.
Hi, Chloe. Nice to meet you.
And what is this for? Okay, so honestly, one of the on my wish list is taking a class from Mike Lowe on how to win an Emmy, how to tell a story. I think you won once, or maybe you didn't. I don't know. You created a poem out of Build-A-Bear line people that were. Why was there such a line at Build-A-Bear in the first place? Frankly,
If memory serves me correctly, that was a story right before Christmas where Build-A-Bear had some kind of a free giveaway.
it had to have been a freebie.
Yeah, and so there were lines out the door around the mall. I think we were out at Woodfield Mall, and I said to the photographer, I'm like, I have a crazy idea. Let's rhyme the lines with the sound bites, and that's really hard to do on deadline, but it turned out to be fun. It was like, I think it goes back to my days as a fan of hip-hop in the early 90s, you know?
You had the rhyming skills,
Exactly.
huh?
So.
I mean, let me tell you, that sticks out, and I knew it was on deadline. Incredible. This particular story is the quantum capital of the world, something that Chicago is very much aiming to be, a story produced on WGN and winning in the business consumer technology news category. So, Mike, what is quantum?
Well, so honestly, I think if you tell your news director, let's do a story on quantum physics on the news, I would say almost 10 times out of 10, you're going to get the no.
You're out of story.
Because how are you going to make this visual? How are you going to explain this? Because this is something you kind of need a college degree or a PhD in this to kind of understand it. It's so complicated. But I knew what we needed to do to tell the story was to find a way that people in the Midwest in particular could understand the power of quantum computing, quantum physics, and what kind of power it harnesses. So essentially what quantum computing can do, among many other things, is compute at a level that we just can't comprehend. So the example we started with was a maze that, our normal computers on our desktop or our laptop computers can figure out one path at a time and then try another path if that doesn't get you to the end of the maze. What quantum can do is take every possibility at the same time to figure something out. So we started this story in a corn maze with teenagers trying to figure their way out. And that kind of, I think, brought the idea home. And we were just trying to figure out ways to make this story understandable to a local TV audience, not to a class at the University of Chicago of PhDs.
I was going to say,
and
plus you broke the stigma that journalists aren't good at math. I feel like that is the number one thing, and look at you just explained.
I am not good at math, but I do appreciate how important science is and how important quantum is going to be for the Chicago economy in the future. Governor Pritzker is at the forefront of this, trying to attract major quantum companies. We've got some of the best universities in the world here with the University of Chicago, Northwestern. Obviously, the University of Illinois has been a leader in computing for decades, and so it's really an exciting thing to be reporting on.
First but not the last quantum story, but I don't know how many are going to be statue worthy because that it really is a hard story to tell.
That's a skill.
Before we go, I just wanted to say, obviously this was about a year ago, given that it was a corn maze story. I imagine that you began to tell this. It has been quite a year. You are capping it off. You just were Chicago Journalist Association. What is it? Lifetime Achievement?
No,
Journalist
it's
of the Year?
Journalist of the Year, which we have to acknowledge that's an award that I think has gone to some of the greatest journalists in the history of the city. Mike Royko, I think Roger Ebert, Carol Marine, people like that, who are just platinum career legends. I think it has a lot to do with my public battle with cancer this year. And I think they're recognizing the fact, not only that I've done some decent stories, but that I've done it while being open and honest about going through chemotherapy and radiation and
fighting and being tired
and trying to work through it. Yeah.
Trying. You are working through it. You have done amazing.
Thank
and let me just, how many Emmys is this, by the way? Because let me also say, you are more than deserving of journalism awards, and here's proof.
Well, it's kind of embarrassing for me to say, but this is Emmy number 39. And as far as I know, the record is held by either Bill Curtis or Walter Jacobson at 40.
Well, you're on your way.
I'm pretty close to the record here. We'll have to double check that and have somebody at Natus Chicago. We got people. we got producers, I think, that work here that can go back and look at the stats. But yeah, it's been quite a ride. I've had a great almost dozen-year run at the Emmys where I think I've won more than I probably deserve.
That is, I'm not going to give you that one, but I will give you tremendous kudos and, of course, all the love and good luck. And you know that this room is rooting for you. That huge room is rooting for you, Emmys and otherwise.
And you're the best. I love Chicago Tonight, and as you know, WTTW is in my DNA. I worked for Chicago Tonight back in the Phil Ponce era, right after. Basically while it was still like the Nightline of Chicago, where it was one issue for 30 minutes. And you guys cleaned up tonight, and I adore the work that Channel 11 does. That and Channel 9, I feel like, are the stations of Chicago.
Baby.
Yeah.
Chicago.
So.
I think we're going to leave it there, and this is so cool. I am so happy to see you and share this couch space with you. And 40, baby, break
on the
this
way.
record. If anybody can do it, it is this guy, Mike Lowe. Congratulations. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. And we are back, Chloe and I, but oh wait, familiar face here, opposite side of the couch, and I got the.
You, and I'm sorry.
It is a very good reason. Joshua Short, winner.
I know.
Very own Emmy for, and this is really a big one. This is for the small market newscast, evening newscast, and then your station also.
Morning show one as well. WNDU TV in South Bend, Indiana. We have morning and small market morning and evening. So this is remarkable.
Before we even get to the specifics, we used to co-anchor the morning show
Yeah.
together years ago.
Yeah.
And then I left and then came back to the station. So now
And
we're
I
both.
told him, I said, you're coming back. You will come back. And then funny how I'm still in the mornings, but this guy is like leading things off in the evenings.
You're a morning person.
Yeah, I
That's
am.
all.
Right,
You're a morning
right,
person.
right.
But we're so excited to be here to do this. It was a really tough day. I mean, this is a huge honor, let's be honest, but it was a really tough day for both of us. Trisha led the morning coverage of the Smith 6 funeral. For those who don't know, the Smith 6 funeral was when 6 kids died in a fire. And several weeks after that fire is when the funeral took place. And so that morning, you guys had extensive coverage.
Yeah, and when you think about these children, and this is what we really focused on, we had a field anchor, Christine Carson, my former colleague, was the field anchor. I was the anchor at the desk. We're 2 moms. The victims ranged in age from 17 months to 11 years old. And it hit us both. We were both moved to tears, but it came from the heart. And our coverage was incredibly special. We were the only local TV station to cover the funeral that day, but we covered it in respect. And we gave the children their due. And we respected that family, and we gave that honor to those children. And that's what was remarkable. And you felt the love of an entire community for those children. And we touched it off in the morning, but the evening, what I have to say about you, Joshua, you gave such special care to what the community did. The community came out in ways that it was just remarkable, and it showed South Bend at its best.
Yeah, I think, and you guys know this as well, storytellers, it's hard sometimes to be able to tell a story as tough as this, but we were able to do it with respect. And I think also the part about this that it shouldn't be hidden or not talked about, it should be underscored, is that, yes, we lost 6 kids, and that's the biggest part of the story. But what they did to reignite the conversation about fire safety and fire prevention in our schools. When was the last time we heard about stop, drop, and roll, right? You know what I mean? And so those
It's been since I was in school.
Right, yeah, you know? And so I think this is what that did. That helped us restart that conversation. They did that. Their lives, they left a legacy that is, in many ways, something that no one who's been on this earth far longer than they were, they're able to do. And so that's what this means. I think that we accept this award, but it's a somber acceptance in a way.
You know, there's so many stories that we do tell as journalists, and I think that people can say, how do you do that? Why do you cover crime? Why do you ask people when they're in their time of pain? And that there are very fair questions to ask about journalists' responsibility and respect. And then there's also the need for people to know, and sometimes it's just there is a deeper lesson that is attached to it. Reminder, safety lesson: check your fire detectors and your carbon monoxide.
Yep.
It is literally daylight saving coming to an end, so now is when you're supposed to do it. So there's my little PSA.
Yeah.
But it is more than that. Let's move away from sort of the sad parts of it, because this is one newscast and you submit it, but you're doing this job day in, day out. There is a team between the morning and the evening. Why do you do what you do? It is not for taking home an award like this, meaningful though it is.
Yeah, I think and I'll start with evenings, and I have a little bit of experience with the mornings, obviously, but with the evening show, I know that at home, people are coming home from whether it's school or from work, and they want to understand what's happening in their neighborhood. They want to know what's happening in their schools. They want to know what's happening to protect their families, right? They want to know what's going on to make sure they have enough food to put on the table, or at least how much it costs. Those are the little things that we have a responsibility as journalists to put at the fore. And sometimes I think that gets lost. I know we talk a lot, especially nowadays, and you would know this more than anybody with the politics, right? It can get political sometimes, but at the end of the day, it's for what makes my family better. And our job is to put that at the forefront of our reporting, of our storytelling, to make sure that people understand what's going on in their communities, what's happening in their neighborhoods, so that if there is a bad story such as this won't happen to you. We won't see a repeat offense of this. But in the morning show, it's the same thing. We have the same jobs, I think.
Yeah, and we have to say what this meant to our community. This was a tough story, obviously, but it wasn't just tough, obviously, for the people that were directly affected by this, but the firefighters, the police officers, those first responders. This had long-lasting impact with them as well. And on the morning show that day, we actually pulled in a mental health expert. And we actually interviewed someone on the set that day, how to talk to your family members about this. If you're a first responder, and Joshua, in the days to follow, you did interviews with the first responders, the critical and crisis response officers that helped out with those people that had to see what they saw that day. I can't say enough about the heroes that worked that day in South Bend. I can't say enough about the heroes that came forward, either donated money or cared about that family in the days to follow. You know, we're still looking for answers, and I don't know that we'll have them for some time, and there's still a lot of finger pointing, but those 6 children are remembered, and they'll be forever remembered at WNDU, and with these awards, we'll be able to say thank you to a community, but also remember those children.
Oh, that's so hard to imagine as a mom, and so powerful, and really part of, again, as I think has been a theme of the night, why we do these jobs, to ask the questions, to demand answers, to provide that voice of authority and trust, and hopefully to be along on the ride, because we're all members of the communities of which we report.
I don't want to leave this on a sad note, because you did ask for a drink, so I owe you that.
Yeah.
But I had to go and make sure I didn't miss this, and so I owe you that drink.
Very fair. We decided we're doing, I don't know, now champagne. We were going to do tequila and soda, but with an extra lime. I know, my new buddy here, I know we like our heavy on the citrus, but perhaps it is time for champagne.
I think so. But no, I mean, I just want to say that it was great working with you tonight, and thank you for being a fill-in as well for this. You have killed it.
Year 2.
You have killed it. Come on, year 2.
I find my way to this couch.
You found your way every year? Every year, 2 for 2.
Yep.
But
It's a good place to be, especially
It
when
is.
you're in
It
heels.
is.
I'd rather be on the couch.
I needed it. It's nice and comfy.
Unless you're up
Nice
on
little
that
break.
stage getting an award, then it's worth the pain.
We were actually, we should have been here
There you
sooner.
go.
We were waiting on our boss, because he was also nominated right after us. So we were waiting in the wings trying to see if he would win. He didn't, sadly, but we were still waiting. So that's what took so long. There was a delay.
Right for you.
Yeah.
Right. Being
That's
a
it.
boss is a little bit like being a parent, right?
It is exactly
you're
right.
excited when your children, when everybody in the roost is happy, you are too, right?
There you
Well,
go.
we are happy, and I think there is a watch party back there in South Bend, hopefully. So
there you go.
I'm up late for sure.
Yeah, I know you are.
But there's only
what
a
time
couple.
do you usually go to bed?
I get up at 2:30 every morning, so this is really hard
You're
for
pushing
me.
it.
So
You're
I
pushing
can't tell. You look great,
Oh,
and
honey.
you are making all the sense in the world.
You know
If
makeup
somebody
is
asked me to
amazing,
get,
so-
thank gosh, yes. Is there an Emmy for that?
I know.
There should be.
That's an honest question. There should be. I love my makeup artist Amy, who was not here. That is obvious.
It's obvious.
I look better on a normal newscast, and it's due
The
to her.
benefit to all of us, it is daylight saving time.
There
So we get an
go.
extra hour.
We get an extra hour. So I think we might be capping the program.
I think so.
In which case, enjoy all of the fun, the champs. Can I touch it? I'm gonna do a cheers. I'm so happy for you. So happy for all of the winners, and frankly, anybody who entered. You did the work, and that is what is meaningful. It's great to be recognized, but it's important to do the job day in, day out. It is one that we all believe in, especially at this time where our industry, journalism, it can be so often under attack. So kudos to you. Wow.
32 years at the same
I wouldn't
station.
have guessed that either.
Girl, I'm 56. Hang in there.
Yes.
Seriously. I mean, men are celebrated into their 70s in this
There you
job,
go.
and the women disappear. We have a shelf life. I say no more.
Yep.
Ladies,
Not
hang in
letting
there.
it happen.
Hang in there.
Only a shelf life for these.
Yeah, come
Right.
New shelf life. Congratulations. I'm going to end it there. Woman power. And Josh.
And Josh, Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Congratulations, and thanks to the awesome crew that put this on. Again, it's a heck of a lot of students who, let me tell you, I would not have been able to do that. I wouldn't know what buttons to press, when to go. I mean, this is really incredible.
The level of talent
It's quite a
and
show.
what they know coming into the business.
And
I don't know.
how many people's stomachs hurt from laughing at Chicago Party Aunt being the MC? I'm guessing that was a good time. I've been out here, but he's funny.
Yeah, he's really, really funny.
He's
And
funny.
I think I will say that it just shows you the camaraderie, the teamwork that takes to put something like this on every single year. It's just, I mean, it really should be appreciated and talked about a little bit more. So congratulations to all of the winners, and congratulations, and it was great to do this with you.
Happy 66 Natas Emmys. Bye, everybody. We're capping it at that.
Mm-hmm.